lucky in the weather department. After a cold, rainy, miserable week here in central Arkansas, we've got partly sunny skies, a beautiful afternoon temperature in the mid-50s as the Arkansas Razorbacks play host to the Texas Aggies. Hello again, everybody. I'm Corey McFerrin, and Texas A&M is on a tear. They've won 7 straight ball games since an opening loss to LSU, and they're in ideal position to claim their 2nd straight Southwest Conference crown. A&M has not won back-to-back conference titles since 1940 and 41. Arkansas still alive in the conference race, but barely. Let's take a look now at the Southwest Conference standings. As you can see, Texas A&M undefeated through 5 games, a 2-game lead over the Hogs, over Baylor, Texas Tech, and Texas. SMU not eligible for the title. All those clubs with 2 defeats. An A&M victory today clinches at least a tie for the title. Now, the Aggies have 3 games left. They will need to lose at least 2 of those 3 for anybody else to have a chance. But believe me, Arkansas has not given up yet. As Ken Hatfield told us a little while ago, he feels the job can get done.
Well, we're not conceding anything, I mean, until the season's over, and we're playing here today a very similar situation from where we were playing last year, with still a shot at the Cotton Bowl. If we beat them last year, we didn't. We beat Baylor. This year we lost to Baylor, but we're still in the same situation. We need to defeat Texas A&M here at home. We do that, we still have a chance to go to the Cotton Bowl,
which Arkansas has not done since 1976. Now, Jackie Sherrill's teams have been shut out their last 2 trips to Arkansas. That'll be tough to do today. The Aggies averaging 32.5 points a game, 424 yards a game. That's the 9th best total offense in America, led, of course, by one of America's top quarterbacks in Kevin Murray. Ken Hatfield's powerful flex-bone offense needs to hang out of the football today. Number 7 A&M, number 16 Arkansas. Back with it, but first to Jim Lampley.
You'll be going out for the beginning of the game you're seeing today.
ABC Sports presents live from Little Rock, Arkansas. CFA football. The Arkansas Razorbacks host the Texas Aggies. Coach Jackie Sherrill and the Aggies with a 2-game lead in the Southwest Conference race, and the man most responsible, junior quarterback Kevin Murray. He's thrown for more touchdowns in his career than anybody in conference history. Murray, one of college football's most exciting performers. Arkansas coach Ken Hatfield says his Hogs are still alive in the conference race, and a trip to the Cotton Bowl can still materialize. The Razorbacks will need a solid game from flexbone quarterback Greg Thomas. The Aggies and the Hogs from Little Rock, Arkansas. They call this place Hog Heaven, War Memorial Stadium. The Razorbacks of the University of Arkansas trying to keep afloat in the Southwest Conference race against the leaders, 7th-ranked Texas A&M. Hello again, everybody. I'm Corey McFerrin. It is do-or-die time for the Razorbacks. Right now, their conference title hopes are bleak at best. They are 2 full games behind A&M right now. They have to win today. There is no question about that. After a damaging, disappointing loss last week to Baylor, 2 weeks ago, A&M took care of SMU in a wild 4th-quarter comeback. A month ago, A&M came back from a 17-point deficit to beat Baylor in a very important Southwest Conference clash. In fact, A&M 12 times in the last 2 years has come from behind to win. Now, yesterday, we talked to Jackie Sherrill, the head coach for A&M, about his team's ability to come from behind. Here's what he had to say.
You have to start with certainly the players themselves, the character, what they have inside of them. And, you know, they've had the opportunity to understand that, you know, you play a game at a game, but you also play a game for 60 minutes. You don't play it for 15 or 30. You know, like Yogi said, it's not over until it's over. And I think the players have inside feel that, you know, somehow somebody's going to make a play that'll turn it around, and somehow somebody on the team will do what it takes to win.
And I guess, Lynn Swan, one reason why they feel so confident is because of an offense that ranks number 9 in the nation. They can put points on the board.
They certainly can. That offense led by Kevin Murray is so very good, and he is a confident leader. Now, I like what Jackie Sherrill said about his football team. The game against Baylor, down by 17, he stuck behind the center, stuck to the game plan, and brought that team back, led him to victory. But he doesn't do it alone. No one man does. And if he is the commander-in-chief, then he has a very talented cabinet in his backfield of skilled players. Bernstein, Walker, Woodside. all of them contributing, all of them very different in what they do. Bernstein leads the Southwest Conference in receptions. He is the best tight end in the league. He will take the ball and hurt you short, running across the football field. Then there's Shea Walker, a Fred Bolitnikoff kind of receiver. He sets you up all afternoon. Then when he gets in tight, he drills it in for the touchdown on the precision pass route. Then in the backfield, there's Woodside. He leads his team with a 6.2 average per run. But when you're not looking, he can sneak down the sideline and get open. He's an excellent pass receiver, a very outstanding double threat.
Well, Arkansas's got an offense that can move the ball up and down the field as well. 235 yards a game, rushing offense, second in the conference. They can do some things, too.
They certainly can, and they operate from the wishbone formation. And, of course, the wishbone on offense, you need more time to execute. Greg Thomas is the man that leads, and he has been a good quarterback. The highest rated passer in the conference, rated at 156. His primary receiver is James Shibest. He has a chance to break records this afternoon. He averages 20.9 yards per catch. But when Greg Thomas can't throw the football, he will certainly run the football and do it extremely well.
Now, we may see some records broken today, and to tell us about one of those records, let's go down to the field now, and Mike Adamle. Mike?
Okay, thank you, Corey. As Lynn mentioned, one of the players to watch this afternoon is Arkansas's outstanding split end, James Shibest, number 25. He needs just 32 yards to become the Razorbacks' all-time leading receiver. Now, at the moment, that record belongs to former Arkansas All-American Chuck Dykes. Chuck caught 118 passes for over 1,854 yards through his outstanding career. A career that earned him 3 consecutive Southwest Conference titles honors. Chuck went on to play with the San Diego Chargers and also the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is now a resident of Little Rock, Arkansas, and a big Razorback booster. And Chuck, I guess the old saying, if records are made to be broken, at least it helps when the guy breaking those records is a class individual like James Shibest.
You're right, Mike. From what I know about James, he certainly is that. And he's had a great career here. He's such an exceptional talent. I really enjoy watching him, and he deserves to hold some records.
The amazing thing about his numbers, when we were talking to him about this, is that for the last 2 years, he has done it in a wishbone offense, which primarily doesn't feature the wideouts that much.
That's true, and it does make it all that more impressive. He's been able to accomplish a lot and overcome those odds.
What do you feel like right now, being here in Little Rock on the field? You've been away for the game for a long time. I know those palms are a little bit sweaty.
They really are. I always get excited here. Something would be wrong with me if I didn't, and it's a big game for us today. We need to win the game.
Okay, well, it's coming up. Texas A&M versus Arkansas, the Razorbacks versus the Aggies, and we'll be coming back with the opening kickoff right after these messages, so stay with us.
CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet, by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. By AT&T. AT&T is the right choice. And by Howard Johnson Hotels and Lodges.
We're at War Memorial Stadium. Corey McLaren, Lynn Swan, and Mike Adamle. A&M won the toss just moments ago. They have deferred, and Arkansas will take the ball as we begin. Here at War Memorial Stadium, a beautiful afternoon. Lynn, we were kind of worried about the weather the last couple days, but it turned out really well today.
It certainly did. It was raining, it was cold, it was down to, I believe, 18 degrees or 10 degrees here in Little Rock. We thought we were going to have a game with those kind of conditions, but it cleared up overnight, warmed up. There was steam or mist on the football field earlier today. As you can see, the sun is now out. Long shadows cast across this artificial surface.
And that is Scott Slater, who will kick off here for Texas A&M. Back to receive for Arkansas. There's Donnie Centers, number 1, junior out of Longview, Texas. And you can tell this place is alive. 53,000 seats here, and all of them, believe me, are taken up today. Arkansas, Texas A&M, here we go. Blast-off time. Slater's kick goes through the end zone. Centers does not run it out. And Arkansas, and that flex bone offense will take over on the 20. Here's the offensive line. Childress, which is a fellow to watch. Freddie Childress, the biggest fellow who's ever played at Arkansas. In the backfield, Johnson is a game breaker, and of course the quarterback. Greg Thomas in Hatfield told me last night the toughest kid he has ever been around. There he is, number 8, the quarterback for Arkansas. And the fans are on their feet already. And he will pass right away. Very unusual. The pass complete out there to Sammy Van Dyke at the 24-yard line. Alex Morris drives him out. The Texas A&M defense on that line. Look out for Jay Muller. Linebackers, Johnny Holland. He was an All-American last year, a Butkus Award nominee this year. He is a leader back there for the Texas A&M defense. Gain of 5. 2nd and 5 for Arkansas. Coming out throwing. Thomas is your fullback. The give to Sammy Van Dyke. He is hit hard. That is O'Brien with the tackle. The big nose guard out of Houston, Texas, brings him down quickly.
Well, we've seen a change already on the first play with Arkansas coming out passing, operating from that wishbone offense, or what Ken Hatfield calls the flex bone, trying to get some kind of advantage to keep the defense of Texas A&M off balance.
Arkansas averages only 12 throws a game, about 113 yards a contest. It's 3rd and 5. Thomas. That's Derek Thomas, the big fullback. He crashes up for the first down across the 30-yard line. Or Johnny Holland and Larry Kelm, the inside backers for A&M, bring him down. First down for Arkansas.
You can see on the replay here, he just does get to that first down mark, and his speed and running momentum is what carried him over, because there were a host of Aggies just waiting for him at the first down mark.
Marshall Foreman generally alternates with Derek Thomas, the big fullback. Foreman, we are told, may not see action today. Suffered an ankle injury against Baylor last week. This is Derek Thomas, big bruising kind of fullback out of Paducah, Kentucky. He brings the ball up to the 35-yard line where Larry Kelm brings him down.
Just to give you background on the wishbone offense, it is a pure reading offense. In other words, what determines who gets the ball, the fullback, whether the quarterback keeps, or the pitch man, is determined by the defense and how they react to the play each time.
2nd and 5. Joe Johnson tries the middle. He is stacked up after a gain of maybe 2 on the play. What about flex bone? Does that mean anything, really?
Well, no, it really doesn't. We discussed this with their SID before the game, the sports information director. And when Hatfield came in, they wanted him to name his offense something a little different to distinguish it from the wishbone being run at Texas, being run at Oklahoma and other parts of the country, and even his wishbone that he had put in at Air Force. So he called it the flex bone because he feels it's very flexible. He makes his wishbone also a passing offense.
It's 3rd and 1. Thomas. Bulls across, and I believe he's got it. We'll see where they mark the football.
Derek Thomas carried the football for Arkansas.
First down. First down, Hogs, as Thomas on the big 3rd and 1 takes it across. And again, we'll see a lot more of Derek Thomas than we normally do. Marshall Foreman, the leading rusher, may not see action at all today because, as we mentioned, of an ankle sprain. He suffered in that Baylor game, tried to work out this week, but couldn't handle it, couldn't do it. So Thomas will see a lot of action. He's not used to that, and that may mean something by the 4th quarter. So it's first down now for Arkansas. They've moved the ball 20 yards. They're on the 40, their own 40. Thomas, Van Dyke, and Johnny Holland. Johnny Holland, the All-American from Hempstead, Texas, comes up with a big defensive play and a loss of 3 yards.
That was perfect execution of defensing the wishbone. They took away the inside run. The quarterback, Thomas, had to then stretch it out, and there were 3 men there. 1 man on Thomas, 2 men on the outside to cover the pitch. They forced the pitch, then all three men moved right to the ball and made the tackle for a loss.
Good shot at Kenny Hatfield in his third year. The University of Arkansas. He played ball here for Frank Broyles back in the mid-60s. Played on that national championship team back in '64. Second, they're calling it 12. That is Thomas across the 40. Terry Price, the left end, brings him down.
Jackie Sherrill, head coach of Texas A&M. I mean, when we watched that game against Baylor, he was as cool as any coach I've seen on that sideline, and his team was down by 17. He obviously knew what we found out later in that ball game, that his team had the confidence and poise to come back and win.
Arkansas 2 of 2 on third downs in this drive, the opening drive of the ball game. That play not going to come off. You see the flags flying. And a little extra curricular activity there. Five yards against Arkansas. Kenny Hatfield kind of shakes his head a little bit in disbelief. So this will set up a 3rd and 14 play.
Dead ball. Foul. False start on the offense. Arkansas. Still third down. Penalty.
I didn't see who it was that moved. But then again, I'm a few rows up. Can't see everything.
All right, 3rd and 14. Greg Thomas. Will throw it. Has some pressure. Escapes. Still on his feet to the 46-yard line. Not going to be good enough for the first down. Larry Kelm and Chet Brooks came up from his quarterback spot to stop Thomas before he was able to get across the 50 in the first down yardage.
You have to be extra nervous when a wishbone quarterback who's an excellent runner drops back to pass and then is forced to run, because he's not like a quarterback who doesn't want to be in that position. This young man has made a living running the football from that wishbone formation and is quite capable of breaking those kinds of plays for big gains.
And he's also the team's 4th leading rusher, over 300 yards. They say when he gets in trouble is when he has to ad-lib. This is Greg Horn punting for Arkansas. 47-yard average, 2nd in the country, and it's in the end zone. So Horn with a 54-yard punt. His kid can boom him. So A&M on offense for the first time this afternoon when we come back from Little Rock. Texas A&M on offense from their own 20-yard line. Kevin Murray is number 14. The A&M career leader in pass completions, attempts, passing yardage, total yardage, completion percentage, touchdown passes. He's going to throw it up right away, and that's the big fullback, Roger Vick, and he is hit for a loss of 3 yards, maybe 4. And Ricky Williams, the Butkus Award nominee, the man to hit him first. There's the A&M offensive line. Bernstein, the tight end, the nation's best tight end in terms of catches this year. Woodside can break it for you, number 33, and there's Kevin Murray, last year's Southwest Conference MVP. After that loss of 1 yard officially, it's 2nd and 11. Murray fires. He's got his man. That is Shea Walker, the 25-yard line. So Murray is 2 for 2 very quickly. Take a look at the defense. We mentioned Williams, number 57, is a Butkus Award nominee. Cherico, Tony Cherico, the nose guard, is a Lombardi Trophy candidate. Number 64, very quick. It's 3rd and 5 for Kevin Murray and company. That's Woodside in motion. Fires it out, intended for Ron Bernstein. I believe it was deflected by Owens, an incomplete pass. So A&M's first offensive effort comes up with nothing.
You can see here a 3rd and 5 situation, and look at the scuffle right there with Bernstein right up front taking on the smaller man.
A&M punt taken by number 25. It's a 52-yard punt by James Shebest, or the return, I should say, of 11 yards by James Shebest.
Now, this is not what they can afford to do, Arkansas, or they're going, excuse me, Texas, or they're going to be in real trouble in this ball game.
Playing New York, quickly the situation in the Big Ten. Ohio State has won for the 9th straight time, looking ahead to next week's matchup against second-rated Michigan. But in the 4th quarter, the Wolverines now trail Minnesota 17-10, 4.5 minutes to go. Still, next week's game would be the showdown for the Rose Bowl, but the Wolves would drop in the rankings if they lose. Corey?
That's an unbelievable score there. Right here, 7:28 to go in the first. There is no score. Arkansas on offense for the 2nd time, and Thomas puts it up and hits his man, Sammy Van Dyke, at the 44-yard line. Chet Brooks drove him out. As we mentioned earlier, Thomas is the passing efficiency leader in the Southwest Conference. Doesn't throw all that much, but when they throw when they want to throw, Lynn, they can be pretty successful.
And that's the key. In the wishbone offense, you're not going to throw that many, but the ones you throw, you should make them count. Hopefully, you're in man-to-man coverage.
Johnson barrels through. Todd Howard stops him just short of the midfield line, and it will be very close to the first down. He's about a yard short of the first down yardage. So Arkansas trying to move that ball into A&M territory for the very first time. This is something that Coach Hatfield does each time. He sends the play in at the last second. In fact, Jackie Sherrill was saying it's unbelievable how they get it off each time in the final seconds on that 25-second clock. And he'd like to get a few delay game penalties today, but so far they've been pretty successful at pulling it off before that clock comes to an end. Johnson again with the first down yardage on the 3rd and 1 play.
Corey, the success of that kind of system depends greatly on the terminology. If you have a very complex and sophisticated offense, multiple formations like Baylor does and Cody Carlson at the helm there, you can't afford to do something like that. They need more time to call the play. A wishbone is a very simplified offensive attack, and you can take more time.
Thomas to throw again, fires it out. It is caught by James Shebest at the 38-yard line. 38-yard line of A&M, another first down. James Flowers is there to make the stop, and Shebest is very close to that record we told you about.
One of the things that will be important to watch throughout the game is the field possession. Keep in mind, both teams started their opening possessions on the 20-yard line. This particular drive, after stopping A&M, started on Arkansas's 39. The wishbone is a ball control offense. If they have the lead in the latter part of the game, they will be tough to beat.
First down, the big guy, Derek Thomas. 6 feet, 213 pounds, out of Paducah, Kentucky, came in as the 3rd leading rusher with 333 yards on the year. In fact, he's the 12th leading career rusher in Arkansas history. Sets up a 2nd and 6. Inside the 35-yard line as the Hawks getting it rolling here early. Thomas, quick toss. That's Theo Young, the tight end, inside the 30-yard line. And for Theo Young, who's been the starter all year, that's only his 5th catch on the season.
Flowers on the tackle.
Looking back, keep in mind that teams like this will often frighten you and scare you when they have a player, a skilled player like a tight end that they haven't used all year. You tend to forget them in your game plan preparation, saying they don't utilize that particular player or that position. Then you get in a ball game like this. Arkansas is back up against the wall. They need to pull out everything to win this ball game. Now suddenly they're throwing to their tight end.
First down at the 27-yard line. Thomas is 4 of 4, 28 yards. Here pitches it out. Van Dyke. He's going to turn it inside the 20, knocked out at the 17-yard line by Kip Corrington.
Corey, I believe there was a blitz on this play. Watch number 27, Chet Brooks. He'll come in and take out Thompson right away, right there. Now, if he had not taken him out right away, stayed up on him and forced him to stretch it out, they could have gotten more help on the option play to the outside and may have stopped it for no gain. But because the blitz was on, Arkansas was able to take advantage of it, get the ball quickly to the outside.
Hog heaven is hopping. Aaron Jackson pounding close to the 7-yard line, right up the gut. Kip Corrington again makes the stop, and that's the kind of play that Jackie Sherrill says that the Aggies have to stop. They have to stop that fullback and the inside stuff.
Brady Childress, the big guard, watch him right there on number 11, Holland. The 300-pounder just takes out and straight arms the All-American linebacker, or All-Southwest Conference linebacker, creates the big hole for the gain just at the 6-yard line.
That was a halfback, Aaron Jackson, a true freshman out of Denison, Texas. 1 yard short of the first down. It's 2nd and 1 from the 7. Inside the 5, that's Ken Massa from Plano, Texas, the backup fullback. Massa's only had 10 carries prior to today. Gets the first down.
Jackie Sherrill remaining calm. This team pulled off a wild win coming back at the end of the SMU game. So he's been behind before, so you won't see him get shaken up.
Arkansas with 7 first downs already here in the first quarter. Jackson, and he is tripped up quickly. Gain of 1, if any at all. Jay Muller, the right end, tripped him up immediately. You're right. I mean, the Aggies have no fear. They know what it's like to be behind. We talked to Jackie Sherrill. You probably saw the interview we did earlier, and he said, hey, the kids have confidence when they do get behind. We have the kind of talent to come back. 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. You got Van Dyke. And Johnson as the halfbacks, Massa as the fullback, and Thomas will come to the near sideline to talk things over with Ken Hatfield and the Arkansas coaching staff. 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go here in the first quarter. A&M and Arkansas, there is no score. When Arkansas plays at home, they're in one of 2 stadiums, Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville or War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. Last year at College Station, A&M beat Arkansas 10-6 to really grab the stranglehold in the SWC race. Greg Thomas did not have a great game. He had fire in his eyes today, and he does as he gives it off to Derek Thomas. Touchdown. Arkansas on the board with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Greg Thomas, the give to Derek Thomas. 2nd touchdown on the year. The extra point from Kendall Traynor is good. And the Hawks have a 7-0 lead.
Well, Arkansas didn't do anything we didn't expect them to. Going between their big, huge guards right up front in for the touchdown. They are where Ken Hatfield wants them to be with the early lead in this ball game.
In New York with 2:26 to go in Ann Arbor at the end of the 75-yard drive, Gerald White's touchdown run and a kicked extra point, as Bo Schembechler elected not to go for 2, has tied up the Michigan-Minnesota game 17 apiece. So the Wolverines, on a 13-play, 75-yard drive, tied it up. Corey?
Well, here in Little Rock, Arkansas with a 7-0 lead, and there's the man to give the Hogs that lead. Derek Thomas, senior out of Paducah, Kentucky, saying hi, everybody.
There you see the scoring drive. Arkansas taking possession of that drive on their 39-yard line, moving it down the field, possessing, controlling, not making mistakes, and surprisingly putting the ball in the air more than we anticipated.
Rod Harris back to receive. You saw him there. Kendall Traynor will kick off for Arkansas. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Harris at his own 3. And he is hit at the 20-yard line. Cooney brings him down.
An outstanding hit by Massey, a linebacker, number 45, that was just tremendous in taking out the interference, allowing that young man to make the tackle. Massey came down and took out 3 people just spearing into that blocking wall.
A&M's first possession, 3 plays and a punt. All passes. In the I formation, now shifting, that's Valentine. And Roger Vick tripped up by Tony Cherico.
Cherico did a great job of just submarining, getting underneath the blocking of the offensive line to trip him up just before he had any chance to get to the hole.
So it's 2nd and 8. Vick with a 2-yard gain. Roger Vick with 4 100-yard performances this year. Malone sent back, and he gets the football and streaks through up close to the 30-yard line and first down yardage. Richard Brothers comes over to stop Vick. Vick 6'3", 221, out of Tomball, Texas. He is the 6th A&M rusher to gain more than 2,000 career yards. He ranks number 6 in the all-time list. He's a fellow the pros are looking at very seriously. 3rd and 1. Vick. He is stacked up.
Looked like he was stopped for no gain. In those situations, I watched the official to see where they marked the ball. The official to our near sideline instantly was marking the ball beyond the 30-yard line to give them the first down.
I would say a questionable marking, but it is first down for A&M right now to Mike Edelman.
Corey, we talked about the Cotton Bowl implications of this game, but there are other bowl representatives in attendance here today, like Ken Blewett of the Fiesta Bowl. Obviously, Ken, you were looking at the ideal matchup, Penn State versus Miami of Florida, but Arkansas could be very viable, could they not?
Absolutely. If they win here today and we don't get the championship game, this would be a very, very top prospect for us.
Okay, up 7-0. Arkansas looks like a very worthy New Year's Day opponent indeed. Corey?
Thank you, Michael. You saw Roger Vick stopped again by Tony Cherico. Cherico, a leader out there, unquestionably on defense for Arkansas. He's out of Shawnee Mission, Kansas, Lombardi Award nominee. He's the 3rd leading tackler on this club. All conference last year. In fact, his girlfriend is Fred Akers' daughter. They're in Austin, Texas. Vick has carried the last 4 times, not this time. Murray to the air. And he's got a man at his Woodside, driven out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Texas A&M choosing to line up with only a single back in the backfield, sending Woodside in motion as a receiver. Finally, Kevin Murray finds him downfield in just a short route, and I think what they have to do is continue to work the ball like that through the air. The running attack is not opening up for them, and they can't afford to go deep without setting it up first.
Still 4 yards short of the first down. We're in the final 35 seconds of the first quarter. 3rd and 4. Murray to Woodside. First down, A&M, as Woodside is dropped immediately by Eric Whitted at the 42-yard line.
Eric Whitted made the tackle. First down, Texas A&M.
Eric,
the Arkansas team is playing a great team defensively, not putting itself out of position, making sure that Texas A&M is losing the battle on first and second down and creating tougher third down situations.
and we just heard, there it is, number 2 Michigan has lost to Minnesota by a field goal in the final minutes. You see Vick and Jericho, what a game he is having. Drops Roger Vick, the big fullback, for a loss on the play.
Jericho looking to create an upset of his own here at War Memorial Stadium. As you see Vick once again taking the lion's share, running the football. He's taken down, and that is the end of the first quarter.
We got a 7-0 score. The Razorbacks are fired up. They lead. Second quarter coming up.
Jim Lampley in New York. The details on Minnesota's upset of Michigan, a 58-yard game-closing drive led by Ricky Foggy, capped off by a 30-yard field goal by Chip Low-Miller as time expired in Ann Arbor. Minnesota's first win in the big stadium there since 1962. Yours, Corey.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. At War Memorial Stadium, plenty of red. 53,000 plus in attendance. Murray to throw. Incomplete. I think he was looking for Shea Walker, not even close on the 2nd and 11 play.
Zone coverage on this particular play. His receivers just drifting in, looking for the opening seam. You can see here by the first quarter stats, Arkansas dominating in the first period. 60 yards rushing, 28 passing. A&M really not doing a great deal.
Hey, what about the week off last Saturday for A&M? Could that have taken them out of their groove a little bit?
I don't really think it takes them out of a groove. It might make them a little rusty just at the start, but they've been a slow starting football team throughout the season. But it does give them more time in preparation for the wishbone, so I think they'll attack it better as the game progresses.
3rd and 11, Bernstein in motion. Plenty of time for Murray. Dangerous on the run, lets it go. Woodside steps out of bounds. First down yardage at the 35-yard line, and that is what Kevin Murray does probably as well as anybody in football, a 24-yard game, throwing on the run.
His offensive line is giving him a great deal of time to throw the football. But Arkansas is not blitzing. They're only rushing 3 people, and they are not an overpowering rushing football team. Matter of fact, when we talked to Frank Broyles earlier, he said that's one of the things he wished his football team could do better was rush the passer. And there you see what happens when the passer has all the time in the world to throw the football.
Woodside, a great running back, but an equally fine receiver, the second best receiver on this club. And that is Roger Vick. A little bit of daylight, moves it up to the 27-yard line. Richard Brothers stops him there. So A&M's offense suddenly awakening. On the big play, the 24-yard pickup, Murray to Woodside.
The offense of A&M hasn't developed a personality for this particular game yet. We don't know yet whether they want to run the football or throw the football. They're doing a little bit of each, but not having, except for a couple of plays now, great success in either area.
2nd and 2. This is one loud stadium. Vick, boom. Trying to bust through for first down yardage at the 25. He's met head-on by Brothers and Atwater, the outstanding safety out of St. Louis, number 27.
We'll take a look at Jericho, the nose guard. He's not real big. He's 238 pounds, but there you see he had good technique, playing to the outside, in decent position to make the stop. But he was pushed all the way out by the center on that play, Matt Wilson, number 50.
Jericho on the sidelines, roughed up a little bit. 3rd and 1 from the 25. Vick, first down. And he is met head-to-head there by Wayne Martin. Boom.
Seemed like he took the major
Actually, that was Dudley, David Dudley, 31.
Who made the stop?
Who has the reputation as being the hardest hitter on the entire Arkansas defense. There he is. And
well, that time, Vic took that shot.
Yeah.
The brunt of that shot with his head.
I know it.
And it's got a helmet on it, but believe me, that doesn't help you all the time.
It's probably a little shaky right now. 1st and 10. A&M at the 24-yard line. Murray zips it. Woodside drops it and catches it. Good concentration. He's inside the 20-yard line.
You'll see that happen sometimes, Corey, with receivers, with predominantly running backs or receivers. They get down in a situation, it's a short pass. Kevin Murray just drilled that ball. Woodside didn't catch it with his hands. He stopped that ball with his body and wrapped his arms around it. And because he stopped it with his body, the ball bounced away from him. Therefore, he juggled it before he made the catch.
It was Woodside who made that 34-yard touchdown catch late in the 4th to beat SMU 2 weeks ago. Roger Fink gets the call. And he slides up to about the 13-yard line. 12 minutes and 17 seconds to go here at War Memorial Stadium. First down yardage for A&M. Arkansas leads it 7-0.
Although A&M has come back from behind on a couple of teams this year, it's not the position they want to be in, especially in this ball game. So it's very important for them now to go down, get this touchdown, because you can't make a living coming from behind a lot in one season.
Valentine in motion. Murray. He is stopped by number 91. That is Albert Crawford.
Murray kept the football. Tackled by Albert Crawford.
Albert looked like he was actually blocked. And he's on the ground. We'll take a look at it. When he makes a stop, it looks like a hole opens up right there, but you see him, he's blocked, and he just lunges to the outside to grab Kevin Murray.
Looks like Lewis Cheek, the left tackle, had brought him down, but he made a good recovery, didn't he?
He didn't hold him well enough. Gotta develop that subtle holding technique in those situations.
It's 2nd and 10, backs in the eye. Woodside, the tailback. He's going to get it. Hops over the 10. Gets out of bounds at about the 7. Where Brothers knocks him out.
Out of bounds by Richard Brothers.
Once again, Corey, it's happening every time they've had the ball. And especially on this lengthy drive they now have that started at the end of the first period. They're in a 3rd and long situation, a tough 3rd down situation, 3rd and 5.
You might not have seen it, but number 4, Charles Washington, the left cornerback for Arkansas, just motioned to the crowd and said, come on, let's get into it. And they're responding. Boy, did they respond.
The crowd responded extremely well. Back in 1972, when I was a junior at USC, we played our opening game against the Arkansas Razorbacks. And I was a junior. We had a tough year the year before, 6-4-1. Came into the stadium, came into Little Rock on a Friday. That evening, in this stadium, 50,000 people filled it for a hog calling contest. That hog calling contest was similar to the yell practice that the A&M fans have on Friday nights before all their home games, just to get those people revved up so that they can be a factor in this ball game. Kevin Murray is just going to have to execute a play and be successful to quiet them down.
3rd and 5. Touchdown, Woodside. We talked to Kevin Murray yesterday. We said, Kevin, 3rd down plays, you seem to come alive. You seem to really come through it. He says, I love the challenge. 3rd down situation, I think it's my opportunity to shine. And there you saw Keith Woodside, who made the catch. And Scott Slater is on to try to tie this game up. It's 7-all. Flags everywhere. So it's not officially tied up yet.
Well, that's more yellow flags than I saw in a year for soldiers coming back from a war.
They were flying all over the place. Illegal movement. Woodside has 50 yards already in receptions today. And that is his 5th touchdown reception of the year. You know who his idol was growing up?
No.
Tony Dorsett.
Yeah, not a bad one. University of Pittsburgh.
Said he
Star year after year for the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
I say that like nobody knows who he is, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, you probably say it because you know him pretty well. Extra point is good. And that ties it up at 7 apiece.
That touchdown they scored is a product of just having a strong arm and a quick arm. Look how fast Kevin Murray just gets this ball up and he whips it straight line and throwing it to a no-nonsense receiver who's not going to try and make a fancy catch with his hands. He knows where he's at. He makes a catch and falls back into the end zone.
So Murray and Woodside hook up here. We got a tie ball game at War Memorial. 11 minutes and 10 seconds to go for the half. So Jackie Sherrill's Aggies have finally scored some points for them. They didn't score at all back in '84 when they played in Arkansas. They didn't score in '82, shut out both times. So they got that monkey off their back.
It has been 11 years since the Aggies have won a home game for Arkansas. In either Lafayette, Fayette, or here at Little Rock.
Fayetteville.
Right. Yes.
CFA College Football, of course, next week. We'll let you know exactly what game or games will be on as soon as we find out. Check your listings. And Slater kicks off here to Donnie Centers. Bursts through the 25 to the 28-yard line. That was an impressive drive, wasn't it, Lynn?
Extremely impressive, going 80 yards, 17 plays, and 7 minutes and 5 seconds. And those 17 plays in that drive created because the Arkansas defense played them so well on first and second down and created several third down situations that were extremely tough.
I believe that's a hog, not the young lady, obviously, but the
the Razorback.
The little back on the cheek. See a lot of those around. 10:45 to go. Thomas to Thomas. Greg to Derrick across the 30 to the 32.
Thomas carried the football.
And you're right about the crowd. Make the big play and get the crowd out of it. And that's what happened. They've calmed down considerably.
She's happy about this game.
Does she know you? Is she saying hi, Lynn?
Well, I don't know who she is. But hi, how are you? Nice to see you, too. Hi, how are you? Thank you.
To be continued at halftime, perhaps.
Well, I've got a quick plane to catch after the game.
Yeah, I got a 6'4", 240-pound guy next to her.
No, she probably, her boyfriend's, I don't think he's real happy about all of this.
No, he's, now you can go, hello, Lynn. Yeah.
I have fans down here in Arkansas. Most people tend to root for the Dallas Cowboys down here, but I think I converted a couple to root for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You saw Thomas on the ground again for a few, sets up a 3rd and 2. Thomas will get the first down and crashes across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Thomas, who can run that wishbone as well as anybody.
One of the things that he has done extremely well throughout the season is read the defense correctly. There you see there, he notices someone's out to cover the pitch man. He takes it up inside. He doesn't always break it, make a big gain, but right there he picks up just enough for the first down, keeps that drive alive.
And the amazing thing about Thomas, when he left high school, nobody wanted him. He was going to walk on at Baylor, said he wanted to be a Bear. Kenny Hatfield saw some films and said, no, come here. That's Van Dyke. Up to about the 46-yard line, Sammy Van Dyke.
Corrington on the tackle.
One of the great things about
made the tackle.
One of the great things about college football is that there are always players who may not have been noticed in high school. may not have been offered a large number of scholarships, but get a chance and take advantage of it. And there's such great stories, kids that just don't give up.
Van Dyke.
Fumble,
and I think Arkansas recovered. He was initially hit, Van Dyke was, by Sammy O'Brien. And I believe he was the man to get that ball loosened up, coughed it up, and I guess Arkansas's got the ball.
Picked it up for a gain.
Boy, that's something else about Arkansas this year. The turnover ratio, they're plus 17 on the year, which is remarkable.
You see the handoff right here. Sammy O'Brien hits him. It just looked like he wasn't holding on to the ball well. The ball was loose, and you see it there on the side of the picture, floating around, and one of the Hogs picked it up.
And it may turn out to be good enough for the first down yardage. Recovering that fumble, I think it is. Yes. So a bit of a break for the Hogs.
First down by the size of a microchip.
Chris Paquette, the big right tackle, recovered the football. And Paquette's an interesting story, too. Lynn, a fellow's going to law school. In fact, the first Arkansas player ever to graduate in 3 years.
And he did so by going to summer school every summer. Says, why should I pay for it when the school will pay for it on my scholarship?
Why not? Thomas, it's Johnson at the 45-yard line. Immediately brought down there by Chet Brooks.
That was the first time so far in the ball game, Corey, that A&M has been able to put some pressure, on the passing game of Arkansas. Thomas did have to hurry that pass just a bit. They've been kept off balance because they have been able to figure out just when they're going to throw and when they're going to hit them with the running attack.
Billy Winston in at tight end for the Razorbacks, and a quarterback right now.
Thomas 5 for 5.
Thomas is getting the job done. He is on 2nd and 7. Gives it to Derek Thomas. And if you're wondering, there is no relation between the two, other than they both play some pretty good football.
An outstanding football. TNT.
That's right.
Market them as TNT.
3.
And again, in case you're wondering where Marshall Foreman is, the leading rusher on this football team, sprained his ankle against Baylor. Unable to go today. So Derek Thomas is in most of the time right now. Aaron Jackson in at halfback. They give to Johnson, and he is stopped short of the 40 on the 3rd and 3 play, short of the first down. And Sammy O'Brien, we talked to Sammy yesterday. He knew a lot of pressure was on him to get the job done today in order to stop this flex bone, and so far he's playing pretty well.
He's playing extremely well. He's sandwiched in those two big guards. Childress 330 pounds. Then Parks is 275, and he's got the center head up on him, and he's just getting squeezed down. But that was the first big 3rd down play that the Aggie boys have made this afternoon. But Hatfield's offensive team remains in the ball game on now a 4th down play.
They're going for it. And there's a flag, a couple of them.
0 time on the 25-second clock.
We mentioned that earlier, and certainly this is not the occasion to have that flag thrown on that particular moment when it's 4th and 2. And this, I'm sure, will bring out the punter.
Well, the official came out. You see that 0-0. That's a 25-second clock. There's one at either end of the stadium near the scoreboards so that the quarterbacks can see them.
So a costly play.
I started to say the official marked that ball, shut it down, and got that clock going very, very quickly that time and caught them off guard.
So Greg Horn is on. Had a problem with kicking a little bit too low. They've been returning him very, very well. This one bouncing. They could get it inside the 5, but they don't. Bounding into the end zone. So Horn comes on. Second leading punter in the nation, and there's a flag on the play.
We'll take a look here at Jeff Holley. He's certainly for a first catch and moving up. The ball's going over his head. Look, he's going up like he's going to catch it to draw the defense towards him, let the ball bounce into the end zone. I used to do it a lot. All the people that return punts do that from time to time to make sure that ball gets in the end zone.
It was a 45-yard punt from Horn. The penalty was illegal procedure on Arkansas A&M. decline the penalty. They'll take over on the 20-yard line.
For Colorado in Boulder today, as the Sooners, as Brian Bosworth had promised, shut them out 28-0, setting up the Orange Bowl berth showdown with Oklahoma. Is in the Big 8 now. Oklahoma and Nebraska will face each other on the last weekend of the season to determine which of those two teams will be in the Orange Bowl. Now back to Corey McFerrin.
Thank you, Jim. Still got to hand it to those Buffs, though. Made things interesting in the Big 8 this year. Right now, we got a 7-7 ball game. A&M and Arkansas. If A&M wins today, they claim at least a share of the Southwest Conference crown. 5:59 to go here in the first half. Vick. Chet Brooks, the stop right now, down to Mike Adamle on the sideline. Michael?
Well, Corey, no question about it. They are positively the most outrageous, ridiculous pieces of cranial adornment ever worn by a college football fan, but Razorback boosters wouldn't be caught dead without them. And I've often wondered about these hats and about the Razorbacks. Imagine if Chicago Bear fullback Matt Suhey had gone to Arkansas instead of Penn State. He would have won the Heisman Trophy. I can hear it now. Suhey! Certainly would have got my vote.
I'll give him a 9-5 on that rendition. That pass out to Woodside.
They are great hats.
I bought 2 of them today. Take them home to some of my little nephews. And
interesting story. These hats were first made in the early 70s, and they just didn't sell well. The guy who had the patent for them, the harder helmets with the Razorback on top,
right,
said, I'm not going to sell them anymore.
Like the gentleman has.
Like the gentleman has there. He says, I'm not going to sell these anymore. So he went out of business. Then everybody wanted them. He sold off the patent to another company, and now they can't sell them fast enough.
Aren't exactly cheap either.
On the offense, still second down.
$14 a piece.
I know. You saw the illegal procedure on A&M.
Texas TCU.
There's a Texas TCU, and of course A&M fans hoping that TCU could come up with the upset today. If that had happened, they would have been assured, had they won today as well here against Arkansas, of sole possession of the Southwest Conference crown. Third quarter score, second quarter score, Penn State and Notre Dame, still a close ball game. It's 3rd and 12 after that penalty. Murray the handoff, and Vick is stopped in a hurry.
Don't
Ricky Williams, the man to stop him.
I don't want to alarm the folks at home. It was 2nd and 12. They were probably sitting home. If it's 3rd and 12, why are they running the football? But it was
after the penalty. Right?
Yeah. So now it brings up again a 3rd and long situation.
Now it's 3rd and 9.
This alone will take a toll on this football team if they have to play 3rd and long this entire afternoon.
And again, the crowd in the ball game. Rod Bernstein in motion. He's been quiet today. Vick stopped at the 27-yard line. It will not be good enough for the first down. And Ricky Williams, number 57, brings him down. Ricky Williams, outstanding player. Stump is on. I should say Todd Chance is on. It's a low punt, and Shebest across midfield to the 46-yard line. So Shebest gives Arkansas a tremendous field position. They take over on offense again when we come back. The Yankees have won 19 out of their 22 games since losing to Arkansas 28-0 in 1984. All tied up, 3:43 to go for the half. One of the keys to Arkansas working the ball well on offense is controlling the football.
Well, that's the real key. Last week we had a great first half against Baylor, and second half we just didn't move the ball at all. We didn't punt the ball well, and we didn't have very good field position. But the real key today is us being able to move the ball. And I told our team, I think the key to the game is every time offensively we go in that we make a minimum of 2 first downs every series, which will give us a tight field position if we don't score that we'll need for our defense to play.
Well, the defense gives Arkansas a great field possession here, and Shebest is hit and stunned by James Flowers. A great hit here, and you hear the crowd reacting.
The crowd reacting because obviously they want Shebest to make the catch and break that record. Flowers did a great job. The defensive front put pressure on Thomas. Thomas had the pocket collapsing around him. He had to get the ball away. He fired it, timing pattern. He gets the ball away, but Flowers is right there to strip him of the football. Flowers is a man who doesn't lack confidence. He challenged me to a little one-on-one when we were down at Texas A&M.
That's right. For Thomas, his first miss in the air so far today. Now going long, he's got Centers and just overthrows him. Centers had beaten Flowers, and a better pass, we might have seen 6.
There you had a chance to see some real speed running down the sideline. Centers runs about a 4.5 in the 40-yard dash. He's quick. He's not a big guy. Thomas just missed the ball in terms of touch. The ball was sailing out of bounds also.
You know what Centers' average was coming in per catch? 32.5.
Well, that's the kind of average you get when you play in a wishbone offense and you go out there and you get that man-to-man coverage. I used to marvel at the average per catch that teams like Oklahoma would have.
Or Texas.
Or Texas, yeah. They'd have a receivers 15 catches for the whole year, 99 yards per catch.
3rd and 10. Thomas again will go to the air. Lots of time. Fires it out. That's his tight end, Theo Young. First down, Arkansas.
And there once again, the seldom-mentioned tight end, Theo Young, for the Arkansas Razorbacks, comes up with another catch. Bit down, crossing pattern against the zone coverage. The line again giving Thomas great protection. No pressure on him whatsoever. And Hatfield says he wants at least 2 first downs on the drive. He's getting more than that here.
First down, Arkansas. Here's the give to Van Dyke. He just keeps those legs pumping to the 30-yard line, maybe inside the 30-yard line where Chet Brooks takes him down. You know, Theo Young, the tight end coach, Ken Turner, said, hey, forget about the stats. Coming in, he only had 4 catches, but he said, this guy's as good as anybody we've had here.
Certainly is. We'll take a look at it from the defense on that last play. Just a little education on the wishbone. The wishbone is kind of a slow developing offense where you read and you hand the ball off. They come back to you after you get adjusted to that speed with a quick hitting play, counter to the other side to try and catch you off guard.
2nd and 6. Derek Thomas and Johnny Holland is there to stack them up at about the 28-yard line. 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in the first half. All tied up at 7.
This is a very fast football game.
Boy, it is.
Playing. I think we're short of an hour already with only 2 minutes and a little bit to play here in the second period. And you usually get those kind of games with a wishbone offensive team.
Soak up that clock. Thomas takes it himself, and he is caught by Larry Kelm.
Thomas kept the football.
Larry Kelm chasing on the play. Thomas cut up inside, and for a moment there you thought his speed would carry him right past Kelm. But Kelm was able to get his body twisted around to make that stop. 4th down.
Kelm, the number 2 tackler on A&M with 92 tackles coming in. So it's 4th and 4. Frank Broyles, we talked to him before the game, said, boys, I am nervous. He's not coaching anymore as the athletic director here, as you know, but he gets fired up before the game. So Trainer comes on. He's made 8 of 9 this year. This will be a 44-yard kick. It is up and no good. But at the 26-yard line, we see a flag.
And if it is against A&M, it's going to be a first down for Arkansas.
All right. It's against Arkansas. So the field goal effort from officially 43 yards is no good. Only the 2nd miss of the year by Trainer. We're still tied at 7.
You saw Arkansas Athletic Director Frank Broyles pacing the sidelines. I guess you never get the coach out of your system.
No, it's more difficult being an athletic director as far as nervousness is concerned as it is a coach, Mike.
Frank, it has to be very satisfying to you to see one of your former players, Ken Hatfield, who was a great defensive back on your national championship team, molding an Arkansas team that you can be very proud of.
Yes, he has that combination of strength and compassion that makes for a great coach. We're very proud of him.
7-7 time. I think a lot of people outside of Arkansas never expected this, but you guys are awfully tough this afternoon.
The playbook type of football game. We're doing what we do best. They are doing what they do best, and that's the reason the ball game is tied.
Okay, it's good to see, and there's so many of us here at ABC that are happy to have you here on the sidelines with us.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be with you.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Corey, Lynn?
Thank you. Once again, Tony Chirico playing an outstanding game. Watch it again, Lynn. Knocks this ball down.
Number 64. He's quick. He's sitting there. He doesn't think he's going to be able to get in, but he sees the quarterback, and then when the ball's thrown, he gets his hands up in the air.
2nd and 10. Pitch to Vick. Goes the other way. What a run. And he's still going across midfield. Down to the 42-yard line, and Roger Vick tried the right side. Couldn't get through. Changed directions. Ends up with a 31-yard gainer on the 2nd and 10. Roger Vick.
Look at the spontaneous blocking he gets here when he decides to cut back. Give him credit for keeping his balance. Look at the block he picks up right there and on the outside. Now watch Shea Walker. Shea Walker's coming down. He's going after number 9, Richard Brothers. He just picks him up. Excuse me, that's number 4, Charles Washington. Just faces him off.
Vick with an 82-yard a game average there, just barrels over the top down to about the 40-yard line. Now the clock comes into play here. 47 seconds, 46 seconds to go here in the half. And A&M is trying to work that ball in for at least a shot at 3 points. It's 7-7 with 45 seconds to go.
CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by GMAC, the financial services people from General Motors, and by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Corey McFerrin, Lynn Swan, Mike Adamley, and 53,000 football fanatics at War Memorial. 45 seconds to go. They give to Roger Vick. And look at that athletic ability as he bounds inside the 35 to the 33 where Eric Whitted knocks him down. Timeout. Timeout A&M with 36 seconds to go. Right now, though, let's take time for a message from Texas A&M.
150 years after its founding, frontiers are still being explored in the Lone Star State, and certainly at Texas A&M. For students and teachers, frontiers are those of the mind, like the universe constantly expanding. For researchers, new horizons are searched on land in finding better ways to feed a hungry world. Beneath the sea, in secrets guarded by centuries. And beyond our planet, probing mysteries not yet gleaned. At Texas A&M, a new frontier simply means a new idea.
All right, Lynn, what are Jackie Sherrill and Kevin Murray talking about?
Well, I think they're discussing what plays they can run that would possibly get them the first down and stop the clock very quickly, whether it's a pass to the outside, the short side of the field, or a sweep to the short side of the field so they can get the first down and stop the clock. What they don't want to do, since you have one timeout left, is to throw it downfield and use that timeout. I think if they can't get a touchdown, they'll try and position the ball in the center of the field for a straight-on field goal.
3rd and 2, but he's going up top. He's got Woodside for the first down yardage at the 27.
I am amazed. They have now used up their last timeout in the ball game.
That's right.
So
in the first half,
in the first half. So now if they don't get the touchdown here, they have 30 seconds on the clock. They won't be able to, unless you throw the ball out of bounds to stop the clock. They won't be able to call a timeout to get the play stopped. And if they throw the ball out of bounds, then the ball is going to come back in on the hash mark.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. 30 seconds exactly remaining. We're tied at 7. Slater, A&M's kicker, his longest on the year, 51 yards against Rice. He is the #2 kicker in scoring nationally with 74 total points. He's hit on 16 of 19. He obviously is a good one. They have a lot of confidence in him. But they just as soon get the 6. And of course, Murray, with a touchdown pass today, now has 45 touchdown passes in his career, more touchdown passes than anybody else in Southwest Conference football history.
He's having a fine career. I think what we're going to see from Arkansas is just straight zone coverage, trying to pick the ball off.
But the give is to Vick, the lone setback, and he's stopped right away, and that's Tony Cherico again in there. The clock ticks down. We're at 20 seconds.
We've got 2 plays called to hurry up offense, and Arkansas, you see Cherico taking his time, forcing him to use up a lot of the clock.
Now here's where they throw it out, as expected. Walker's over there. They'll give him the incomplete pass. Of course, the fans here want a penalty for throwing it away, but that's not the case. Vick was 73 yards on the day, and there's 10 seconds to go.
Okay, now I was in error in my assessment of the situation. The ball's thrown out of bounds, so it comes back to where the ball was before. The ball was in between the hash marks, so there it is placed again. So it's pretty much a straight kick.
All right, Slater, the junior from Fort Worth. This will be a 43-yard kick. Or it will be when he kicks it. However, illegal movement.
Where?
Against A&M. I didn't see him line up. Let's try that again in tandem.
I didn't see him line up. You missed it. And obviously the last play. But I did not see the flag. Well, here they are getting set for the field goal.
Okay, Cherico is 64, trying to make somebody move there, and does he?
Not unless they're calling it on the placeholder, on the holder. We'll wait for the official. I mean, he's in the backfield. He can move.
Right, exactly. That was the only guy we saw move, but yeah. I don't see how they could call it on
he can move forward,
back and
manicure
forth,
the field, and
he
set himself again. Yeah. Let's see who he calls it on, or if he calls it on anyone in particular.
Dead ball! Dead ball. False start! Legal procedure against the Aggies.
Dead ball.
We don't know who.
Possible to know, but now we're talking about a 48-yard field goal, and 5 yards is a big difference. 43 to 48, so with 10 seconds to go. Slater looks like it has the distance. Does not go through the uprights. Slater unsuccessful from 48 yards out. So we remain in a 7-7 tie.
From where we sit, we cannot see the perspective in terms of how wide that particular shot was. But when the kicker is kicking from the difference of that 5 yards, might have been the difference in that being through the uprights and just to the outside of it.
No question about it. So both field goal kickers have missed.
The fans here just cheering at some announcement that was made that we could not hear.
1 second to go. We're still even at 7-all. Cleveland, backup quarterback in the game. He's just going to air this sucker out way downfield, and Kip Corrington makes the interception for Texas A&M. So Arkansas just decided, let's throw that sucker up. A&M intercepts. So at the end of one half of play here at War Memorial, fans on their feet. It's all tied at 7. We're at halftime at Little Rock. The Fightin' Aggie Band entertaining here at halftime. A&M and Arkansas all knotted up at 7. Corey McFerrin, Lynn Swan, and Mike Adamley along with you on a partly cloudy afternoon here in Little Rock. Temperatures in the mid-50s. A game today that Arkansas has got to win if they want to still have a chance for the Southwest Conference crown. A&M going after their 8th consecutive victory. If they win today, they will clinch at least a share of the Southwest Conference championship. Let's take a look now, if we can, at the 2 touchdowns here in the first half. And Lynn Swan, very impressively, Arkansas came out, and this flex-bone offense really got to work.
They certainly did. They came out and they controlled the football. They put together a very impressive long drive on that first touchdown they scored. Also, coming back on the other side, A&M was able to balance out the score by the same kind of drive. Now, at the end of that long drive, the Arkansas Razorbacks just got down there, went between those 2 big guards, and just punched it over for the touchdown.
That was Derek Thomas, number 40, the 1-yard plunge, capped off a very impressive drive, and Arkansas had a 7-0 lead. Now, for A&M, it was Kevin Murray, his 45th career touchdown pass to Keith Woodside. They get 7-all.
This is the 17th play of a drive that consumed 7 minutes and 5 seconds, showing his quick arm and Woodside, his ability to catch the ball in the crowd, backing into the end zone. Now, this is a very tough and a long drive because they had to come back and face several long third-down situations. They were not winning the early battles at all in this ballgame.
Before the game, Glenn, I was wondering about the motivational factor involved. Now, you look at the 2 teams. A&M knows they've got a 2-game lead in the conference race with 3 games to play. Arkansas knows if they don't win today, forget about it. It has to be an edge out there. Even if you don't really think about it, somewhere down deep, there's something special about this, a competitive edge.
Well, certainly there is. It's that old analogy of being the animal that's locked up in a cage or that's pushed back in the corner. He's wounded. He's fighting for his life. Someone that may not have come out and played as intensely if they had the big lead, now they're fighting for their lives. They've been wounded. They've been hurt. They know they can't back up anymore. Like a gunfighter sitting in the corner of a saloon waiting for the bad guys to come into town and shoot it out with them. And A&M, they're looking at history. Like you said, since 1940 and 41, they haven't won back-to-back Southwest Conference Championship games. Now they're looking under Jackie Sherrill at a possible chance of getting back into that Cotton Bowl, erasing the history of so many years and in the last 11 years of not winning in Arkansas.
Well, last year when they won the Southwest Conference crown, A&M did so for the first time since 1967. And you see Jackie, the way his progress has been made, a little slower than some people anticipated. He went 5-6 in his first year, 5-1 in his second year, 6-5, then 10-2, of course, last year and this year, with an overall record right now of 7-1, trying to make it 8-1. And I think the A&M program has certainly arrived.
Well, I think both Ken Hatfield and Jackie Sherrill share one thing in terms of building a program. They want to build a program from the base, from the bottom, give it a solid foundation so that program can do everything upward. Not to stay in the same spot, not to sink, but to build an upward-bound program, one layer at a time, and they're going to have a great deal of success. And you talked about the player here at Arkansas who's already in law school. I think that kind of discipline that Hatfield brings in from his Air Force background is showing its effect.
Well, you talk about building a program. Ken Hatfield did it at the U.S. Air Force Academy. He's doing it here at Arkansas. 2 fine programs right now at halftime. Arkansas and A&M tied at 7 now to New York. And Jim Lampley.
The halftime report is brought to you by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and other financial services. The Prudential, the rock, it's strong, it's on the move, it's bigger than life.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Prudential College Scoreboard. There is a lot to discuss. To the probable eventual delight of either Fiesta or Citrus Bowl scouts, Minnesota upset second-ranked Michigan in Ann Arbor today. The only Minnesota score not set up by a Michigan turnover was the game winner, a 30-yard field goal on the last play by Chip Lohmiller. Meanwhile, Oklahoma did not attempt to pass in beating Colorado 28-0. A Colorado cheerleader hit on the head by a bottle in this game is now reported to be okay with a mild concussion at a Boulder hospital. It was a game in which Colorado's hopes for an Orange Bowl berth went down the drain, largely on the running of Patrick Collins, who scored the first of his 2 touchdown runs in the first quarter. And there's a look at the Colorado male cheerleader who was beamed by a bottle and who was taken off the field strapped to a stretcher and now reported at a Boulder hospital to be doing okay, sitting up and communicating. Nebraska leads Kansas 56-0 in the fourth quarter. Nebraska and Oklahoma will now meet to determine which of those two will go to the Orange Bowl. Ohio State with its 9th straight victory, 30-17 over Wisconsin. The big story as you look ahead to next week's game between Ohio State and Michigan in Columbus is that Jim Corsadas, the Buckeye quarterback, played only sparingly in the game after suffering a shoulder injury in the first half. He is regarded as okay to play next week. Ole Miss was beaten by Tennessee 22-10. The go-ahead touchdown for Tennessee was scored on a touchdown pass from Joey Francis to, or I should say, from Jeff Francis to Joey Clinkscales. This made it 15-10 as Tennessee came from down 10-9. Two-point conversion try failed. They later added an insurance touchdown, knocked Ole Miss out of a chance for the Southeastern Conference Championship and a Sugar Bowl berth. Alabama is now coming on late in the game, beating Temple 24-6. Nation's leading rusher Paul Palmer, 85 yards through 3 quarters. Bobby Humphrey of Alabama, over 100 yards again with 3 touchdowns in the game. Baylor leading Rice 17-10 in the third quarter. Texas Tech and SMU, it is 10-0 SMU in the third quarter as Texas Tech chasing its first bowl bid in 9 years, falling in that game. Clemson and Maryland, the quarantined Coaches Bowl, both Ross and Ford upstairs in the press box with headsets on, 7-7 in the second quarter. North Carolina State 7-2-1 after a victory today against Duke in the rain, and the Wolfpack will close out against Western Carolina at home. Bowl Scouts from the Fiesta Peach All-America and Hall of Fame there to watch them. Sun, Florida Citrus, Fiesta, Gator, Freedom, and Holiday all in Seattle. UCLA and Washington tied at 7 in the second quarter. Boston College 7-3. 6 straight wins for the first time since 1974. Troy Stratford rushed for 184 yards. Peach Bowl, Hall of Fame Bowl Scouts, both on hand. And what they saw was another good performance by Sean Halloran, the BC quarterback, as he produced this 66-yard touchdown pass to Darren Flutie, one of 2 TD passes on the day for Halloran. BC 7-3 after that victory with Holy Cross left to play. Pittsburgh beat Rutgers 20-6. And that will hurt Rutgers' bowl chances. Illinois upset Indiana, likewise hurting Indiana's bowl chances, 21-16. And the last play of the game, Dave Cramey, the Indiana quarterback, scrambled to the 10-yard line of Illinois, but the Hoosiers had no timeouts remaining. Lorenzo White sat out most of the game. Northwestern leads Michigan State 24-21 in the fourth quarter. Iowa pounding Purdue 42-7 in the fourth quarter. Texas got 3 Brett Stafford touchdown passes, beat TCU 45-16. Kentucky held the ball for 41 minutes. Kerwin Bell had a bad day for Florida. Bill Ransdell had a great one for Kentucky, and the Wildcats beat the Gators 10-3. North Carolina, 27-7 winner over Virginia. Derek Finner broke the ACC single-game rushing record on the day, 39 carries, 328 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Finner. Wake Forest fell to South Carolina. Todd Ellis broke the NCAA freshman records for touchdown passes and passing yardage. Florida State, 4 different players scored the first 4 touchdowns. Bowl Scout watching. Seminole leads Southern Mississippi 42-7 in the third. Holy Cross unbeaten, beating William and Mary today 31-7, 10-0 as they head for Boston College. Army, most combined points ever in an Army game, 56-48 winner over Lafayette. Delaware beat Navy for the 2nd consecutive year, 27-14. When we come back here in the Prudential Halftime Report, we will have an up-to-date report on the allegations at SMU.
Offensive lineman Chris Beckett talks about the importance of education.
Well, I sincerely feel that keeping my priorities of academics, athletics, and the social life in a clear, proper perspective and focusing in on those priorities in exactly that order has been instrumental in completing my undergraduate studies in 3 years. And now I look forward to the big challenge of continuing to combine a football career with the pursuit of a law degree in my final 2 years of college eligibility.
The preceding brought to you by the College Football Association.
Back at War Memorial Stadium, Little Rock, Arkansas. Texas A&M and the Razorbacks of Arkansas all even at 7 apiece. The Arkansas marching band entertaining the 53,000 plus in attendance here. Some of the fans enjoying themselves this afternoon. They're having a good time, enjoying the scores so far. It's all even at 7 right now, though. Let's take a visit to the Arkansas campus.
Research, the discovery of new knowledge. At the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville, researchers look for answers to the questions the future poses. How will we feed our people? How will we protect our environment? How will we live and work in the 21st century? Learning while serving Arkansas, the nation, and the world. The University of Arkansas, Fayetteville. Discovering the future.
Again at halftime at Little Rock. The Arkansas marching band and the twirling group entertaining here after an entertaining first half. A&M and Arkansas all even at 7 apiece. Right now, let's take a break for local news and information. We're at halftime at Little Rock, all even at 7 apiece.
Sport was brought to you by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and other financial services. The Prudential, the Rock. It's strong, it's on the move, it's bigger than life.
The marching band, don't know if you can tell, it says Go Hogs. The Arkansas band, a great performance here. It's tied 7-all, back with the second half kickoff in just a moment.
CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by MCI, Communications for the next 100 years, and by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
The lights are on at Little Rock. As we begin the second half, Kendall Traynor will kick it off for Arkansas to A&M. Rod Harris is back. And to receive there, that is number 37, Washington, who returns it across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Let's go now to Mike Adamwell, who has an interesting perspective on things.
Well, Corey, in keeping with our best seat in the house tradition set forth by our other intrepid sideline reporter Al Trotwig, we decided to go one up on Big Al. Today's best perch will...
One of the hazards you expect to find when you risk life and limb to make an interesting shot for ABC Sports. We lost the audio portion of Mike's signal. I can see him. He's still safe up there. How you doing, Michael? And still talking.
And he's still talking as he waves over there. Now they hoist that platform up, and then they put the cables on either corner to make that platform stationary for our end zone camera.
Roger Vick with the first carry of the second half. He was brought down by Ricky Williams. So A&M, after a gain of 1, it's 2nd and 9. Woodside in motion. Murray, the pitch. Vick to the 46-yard line. I thought Vick showed some good agility and balance on that play, Lynn.
He really did. He showed great agility and balance. As we take a look at the first half stats, after Texas A&M was behind in all statistical categories earlier, that one long drive of 17 plays for 80 yards brought them back, and also in 7 minutes in time of possession. But this time of possession is critical because Arkansas believes they can't win a ball game unless they can possess the ball longer than their opponent.
Ken Hatfield says we got to control the ball if we want to win. On the first down play, that is Vick, Roger Vick, across midfield.
On that last play, Vick got a great block from Washington on the Woodside, on the outside, as he took on Otis Lloyd, number 36, on that play earlier.
Vick with 90 yards on 18 carries. En route, it would appear, to his 5th 100-yard game of the season. And there is Kevin Murray. Tie-ball game at 7. Murray again, he'll run it this time. And slides into about the 46-yard line. Kevin Murray, as many of you know, suffered a very severely broken ankle a few years ago, and still, in fact, has a couple of pins in his ankle. It's really slowed him down quite a bit, hasn't it?
They had 4 pins in his foot. They took out 2. They wanted to bring him along slowly. He's a real competitor, and he didn't want to lose any ground. So when he came back into the system in the spring camp, he just went after it, and he's made a remarkable recovery.
3rd and 2 from the Arkansas 46-yard line. Roger Vick trying to get the block from Woodside, takes it outside, but no. Steve Atwater, the safety from St. Louis, comes over to make the big play on the 3rd down situation.
What sets up these 3rd down and long situations, I hate to keep repeating myself, but it is so critical and important. It's a fact that Arkansas has been successful on 1st down and 2nd down and stopping the Aggies from getting the big game. Right there, they come up with the big play, 4th down.
And Texas A&M will go for it on 4th and 3. No, they won't. Stump in the ball game, who's the backup quarterback, lined up behind center. Now he shifts back to punt the ball away. One of the tricky things you do with a backup quarterback as your punter, because you have to respect that. A 47-yard punt from Stump.
It's a 47-yard punt into the end zone, but I'm surprised he didn't angle it for the sideline so he gets better field position. It's a tie ball game, and we'll be right back.
Good shot at Kenny Hatfield, who in his 3 years here at Arkansas has never lost 2 games in succession. Jackie Sherrill, who has the 12th best winning percentage of any active Division I-A coach, just over 70%. First down, I give it to Derek Thomas for Arkansas. A Monday night, one of the best Monday night matchups, at least on paper, in a long time. The Niners and the Redskins. Could you believe Joe Montana last week?
One of the greatest comeback stories I've ever seen or heard of in professional football, coming back from major back surgery, having the courage to put himself in there, feeling confident, going in and leading his team to an outstanding win last week.
3 touchdown passes.
Whatever kind of water he's drinking, I want some.
It is amazing. Of course, the Redskins tied for the NFC East lead with the Giants. Thomas, the keeper, gives it out the last moment there to Van Dyke. But again, that's Monday night ABC, Monday Night Football, 49ers and the Redskins. And Kenny Hatfield and Greg Thomas get a little lesson there.
Hatfield has to be extremely happy with the way his team is playing so far. I believe at halftime, the only thing he would have told his team is to go out there and play a little bit more intentionally on defense. And the offense maintain control and try and execute just a hair above where they are now. If they can do that, they're going to continue possessing the football and put more points on the scoreboard.
It's 3rd and 4. Ken Hatfield told me last night, we are going to win this football game. Thomas, he reads it perfectly, and look at him go. Driven out near midfield by Jeff Holly. A big gainer, 23 yards on the 3rd and 4. And every once in a while, you're going to break one big, and Thomas picked a good time for it.
We talked about the execution of the wishbone, how Thomas reads it so well. Now watch the outside man just go for the pitch man, leaving it wide open. No one had come over to protect in case Thomas would keep the ball and run downfield. Greg picks up a big 23-yard gain. The fans wanted a flag thrown against Jeff Holly, number 2, who made the tackle, because he flung him down when he was out of bounds, but the official said no deal.
So quickly, Arkansas the ball, their own 48-yard line. Thomas wants to throw. He's in trouble and sacked by Rod Sadler, back at about the 43-yard line.
Number 82, Jay Mueller, is a man who came in and got the pressure. First sack of the ball game. Little play action fake. Not fooling anyone. Right there, that was number 82, Jay Mueller. Forces him up in the pocket where the rest of his cohorts can make the sack.
And the one thing about Thomas, he does not force the ball up. He's more than happy to take that sack. He's only thrown 1 interception all year. Or
they give
2 interceptions, the other one in the first half.
Half sacks and things like that. They might give him credit for a 1/3 of a sack on that play.
Thomas hits Derek Thomas out of the backfield to the 47-yard line, short of the first by about 6 yards.
That sack turns out to be a great big play. In retrospect, looking at what they did on 2nd down, moving the ball up very well, but it still creates, because of the sack, a 3rd and long situation.
10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 6. Trouble, fires it out, incomplete. Tried to find Van Dyke at the last moment. And again, if there's one criticism of Thomas, it's in that ad-lib situation when he has to improvise and make something happen. He has some tough times.
Sure, but he's done a good job of it. He did a good job of it on that particular play. It looked like he was definitely going down for another sack, but got the ball away, found Van Dyke in the vicinity, and just dumped it off.
Almost hit him. A horn is on. High, good-looking kick. Is Harris going to take it? No, and he gets a good bounce as it bounds into the end zone.
Corey, there is a flag on the field. We don't know who it is against just yet.
A&M players seem to think it's against Arkansas.
I don't think they're going to have him kick it over again, because he's had that ball bouncing inside the 15 to 10-yard line. They don't want to take a chance that he'll kick it. The ball will be dead inside the 20.
Illegal procedure on the offense. Decline. Penalty is declined.
Illegal procedure, as you heard, declined. So it's A&M ball on the 20-yard line. So the Aggies on offense. Kevin Murray only 65 yards to the air so far with 9:40 to go in the 3rd. He's averaging more than 220 yards to the air per game. He's going to fire it here to Rod Harris and almost makes the great catch at the 40-yard line. And Lynn, one of the interesting stats to this point in the game, Rod Bernstein, the Southwest Conference leading receiver, has yet to make a catch.
He is an impact player, and they have shut him down completely. And he is a key to them trying to get back in the second half. CFA college football next week. A couple of games that are a possibility. We'll announce it later on. Pitt, Penn State, or Oklahoma, Nebraska. Penn State being an important game. Penn State should move up if they win today in that polls.
After
back
the
to the
Michigan
number
loss.
2 spot.
All right. They lead 10-6, as a matter of fact, right now over Notre Dame. 2nd and 10. Murray lets it fly again. Incomplete. And that ball intended for Keith Woodside, who has been Murray's #1 target this afternoon.
Coming into the ball game, we were told that Arkansas is not going to put a big rush on Murray. They're going to let him throw the football because they believe when you give him time, he has more of a problem reading that defense and picking out the receivers. That's exactly what they did in the first half, and they've done so far, and they've been extremely successful shutting him down, forcing him just to sit in that pocket, read the defense, and pick out the receiver. They've done a good job dropping back in their zone coverages, shutting off the crossing routes underneath to Bernstein.
So it's 3rd and 10. That's Harris in motion. And Harris makes the catch. First down yardage at the 40.
Murray passing complete.
Now that pass play is right in between an out pattern and a flat pattern. And they try and give you the ball going at an angle. You have to have a receiver who stretches out that secondary and pushes him back, takes him deep, and someone to hold him underneath. There you see the white jersey, a receiver short. There's another receiver behind at this particular play, taking the secondary deep.
So again, Murray delivers on a 3rd down play. First down, 39-yard line. That's Bernstein, number 29, a great tight end in motion, but Vick gets the call, and he rambles up close to the 45-yard line. You know, Bernstein and Shea Walker are both battling to take over the all-time career leadership in pass receptions for A&M, but they say don't worry about that because in a couple of years, this kid Harris, number 17, that made the nice catch there on 3rd down a moment ago, will for sure take over the lead. That's Bernstein right there.
He came into the game with 86, and the record is 92. Shea Walker has 88 coming into the game.
But Harris, the sophomore, they have big plans for him. This is Woodside. Across the 45-yard line. David Dudley makes a stop.
Arkansas's defensive unit is a tactical unit. They're not going to overpower you. They have not overpowered this football team so far in the game. Their success comes because they're in the right position at the right time. They read well. They don't get put out of position, so they're there to make the stop. They have not been on the field all day long because Arkansas's offense has possessed it, so they're still fresh here in the second half.
3rd and 4. Woodside in the slot. In motion. Quick pass out, intended for Bernstein. Is it picked off? I believe it is. Nathaniel White at midfield. Murray made a bad toss. Arkansas ball.
Oh, I do not believe what I saw. I do not believe what I just saw on the football field. Kevin Murray going off the football field just decked number 4, Charles Washington. Let's look at the play. I think the receiver made a mistake on this play. It's a quick pass. He fires it out, but the receiver doesn't go. The ball is thrown over his head here.
That's Bernstein.
And that's Bernstein. The receiver on the outside probably should have come inside. We'll take another look at Bernstein. He's looking for the ball. And Nathaniel White is a man that comes up with a big play.
Nathaniel White, backup rover. Murray had thrown 159 passes until then without an interception. Now, I didn't see the play. You say Murray went off and decked somebody?
And I cannot let this just go by. You know, he was coming off the field. The Arkansas players are jumping up and down because they've got the turnover. First turnover in the ball game. Charles Washington, number 4, was coming off the side field. He is a left cornerback. Coming across, Kevin Murray just decked him.
Frustration.
Frustration.
Uncalled for.
That is totally uncalled for.
7 minutes to go, Arkansas. Big break on the turnover. Thomas hits his man, Derek Thomas. Inside the 45 to about the 43, where Johnny Howland picks up Thomas. Under 7 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. And the Hogs, as I mentioned earlier, have a great plus-minus ratio in the turnover department. The best in the country at over now plus 17 coming in. A&M as a comparison with a +1. This place is buzzing. Again, the Hogs at 4-2 in the conference race. A&M at 5-0. Arkansas has to win today. 3rd and 2. Very big play. Van Dyke, yes.
Van Dyke takes the ball on this pitch. Great job by Thompson. Thomas on the outside, faking everybody out and him getting it to the outside man. Washington, the man, I hate to stay on this, but Washington, the cornerback, who Murray decked, is pacing the sideline. He is upset, Corey. When they get back on that field, that defensive unit, look for something to happen.
Van Dyke again, opening left side. He pounds inside the 25. Where Chet Brooks finally stacks him up. The Hogs playing with some passion out there.
They are fired up.
Boy, they are.
They see an opportunity to capitalize. They're waiting for the mistakes. They're playing a safe, conservative football game, waiting for an opportunity. This may be the opportunity they were looking for.
1 yard short of another first down. So Van Dyke, again in the absence of Arkansas's #1 rusher, Marshall Foreman. Guys like Van Dyke, and of course the big guy, Derek Thomas, picking up the slack. That is Derek right there, and he's very close to the first down, but I don't believe he made it. We'll see where they spot the football. And again, Johnny Holland, the All-American linebacker, plugs up the gap. Johnny Holland out of Hempstead, Texas. Recruited as a quarterback. Came in his sophomore year, tried him at linebacker, made all-conference. Last year, All-American. This year, again, probably headed for All-American status. Let's see if they made it, and they did. Hogs got the offense cranked up. Greg Thomas, the architect on this drive. Set up by the Nathaniel White interception of a Kevin Murray pass. A pass that wasn't even close and led us to believe perhaps the receiver, Rod Bernstein, made a mistake. Working it down towards 5 minutes left in the third. We're still tied at 7. And Thomas, with O'Brien and Alex Morris in there.
As we look at those scores, a big win for Nebraska, setting up that match for next week. On opposite sides of the field, Washington #4 sitting down on the end of the bench. Kevin Murray sitting on the bench on his side of the field. I saw the offensive line coach come over. Looked like he was reprimanding Kevin Murray on the sideline. Maybe he saw what would happen. It's going to be interesting to see how this defense responds once they get back on the football field. Right now, it's an offense that's taking charge.
This time, Derek Thomas, nowhere to go. Howard, Brooks, and Morris all combine on the stop.
Just believe I heard a score for that Notre Dame Penn State football game. It was 15-10. Oh, excuse me, 13-10.
Who was leading at that point? Was it still Penn State?
Notre Dame 13.
Notre Dame 13-10, having a tough time hearing, and Sinners gets a pass at the 11-yard line. Big connection. Thomas hits Sinners, their big play man. Wow.
#1.
Nice
Johnny
catch.
Sinners. He's only 168 pounds, but he gets up in the air to make what is a very difficult catch over the shoulder.
Sinners, one of 28 players on this Arkansas club out of Texas. He hails from Longview, Texas. Great catch there. First down on the 11-yard line. Arkansas mixing it up very, very well as Joe Johnson, who might not be at 100% today. He twisted an ankle at practice this week. Was unable to really get after it full bore this week. had a good look a moment ago there at Mr. Childress, the monstrous offensive lineman. There you saw the score, Notre Dame and Penn State, and the Irish. Wow, what a victory that would be to that program. To Lou Holtz, of course, who
used to be here at Arkansas.
Was here for 7 seasons.
Came out and said, yes, a win over Penn State would turn our season around for us, make our season.
2nd and 10, Thomas. He will keep it. He may go. He does. Greg Thomas, 10 yards out. Arkansas the lead.
You see right here from our end zone shot, it's wide open. They're playing the pitch and the inside man. Greg Thomas isn't the fastest man in the world, but he had enough speed there.
Kendall Trainer. Extra point is perfect. You talk about a crowd in the ball game. They are here and they are hollering. The Hogs by 7. We travel back to New Year's Day, 1965. Coach Frank Broyles and the Arkansas Razorbacks put their undefeated record on the line against Nebraska. The final seconds tick off in a classic defensive duel. The Hogs win by 3 to claim their first ever national championship. Well, Ken Hatfield has rekindled memories of the glory days in the 1960s. In fact, Hatfield played on that football team that won the national title back in 1964. And this place is rocking right now, isn't it, Lynn?
This whole game just went up to another level. On that last series, the turnover, the drive for the touchdown.
I don't know if you just heard that roar. That was reaction to the Notre Dame lead on Penn State. And perhaps still the local fans' affection for Lou Holtz. Harris pounds it out to about the 24-yard line. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the third. The Hogs with a 7-point lead now. There's Washington, number 4, who found himself the object of Kevin Murray's frustration after that interception, which led to that second touchdown for Arkansas a moment ago. And there's Murray. Lynn, you said you saw one of the coaches on the sideline talking to him a moment ago. We speculated perhaps it was regarding that incident.
That's right. I've been in that situation before where a player is taking a cheap shot at me. The only thing I had on my mind was to get even coming back onto the football field.
Shea Walker, the intended receiver.
There
and
you see
Tony Chirico.
There you see the team reaction to that kind of problem. Number 4, Washington's on the corner. He may never get a shot to get back at Murray. But he's talked to his teammates. They know what's happening, and they're going to get even for him. They're going to make sure that Kevin Murray pays for what he did to Washington. This whole game, the attitude, the emotion, could have very well have hinged on that one particular play. And Jackie Sherrill is the kind of coach, when he gets his team back after this ball game, he will make note of it to Murray.
2nd and 10, Vick. Oh my, great defensive play. That's Kerry Owen. The momentum, if there's any question about it, is rolling right now for Arkansas.
Certainly is. The entire defensive line, look at them moving laterally down the field, making sure they get to the outside, making the big hits in the plays.
Kerry Owens, number 54 from Stuttgart, Arkansas. Sets up a 3rd and 12. Walker split to the near side. Harris, the flanker, and Murray firing for Harris. Should have had it and drops it. And when the crowd gets going, the defense gets extra aggressive. That's the kind of thing that can happen.
Number 54, Kerry Owens. We haven't called his name a lot this afternoon, but he comes back to make 2 plays back-to-back. Made the tackle on the last play. Right here, he's covering. Ball's thrown behind Harris. He's the man trailing on the play.
Todd Chance. The punt. And Schubert will let it bounce, and it's taking an A&M roll down to about the 35. Let it go, guys. It's still rolling. It's finally stopped at about the 31-yard line. So a long punt for Chance. Back in a moment from War Memorial.
Upset bid in South Bend. Notre Dame's Tim Brown, who had a kickoff return touchdown called back in the first half, in the third quarter has caught this 15-yard touchdown pass from Steve Berline. The Irish lead number 3 rated Penn State now 13-10 and have gotten the ball back on a turnover. Yours, Curry McFerrin.
All right, Jim. Wonder what the folks in the Fiesta Bowl and the Citrus Bowl are thinking right about now.
Well, certainly with the losses this afternoon, the Michigan, Penn State showing some weaknesses, close games to West Virginia, Maryland, and Pitt. Now this game, they're trailing, shedding new light on who's the best team in the country.
Thomas pumps once, now going long. He's got Shebest. 30-yard line to the 27. This place is going crazy. Thomas hooks up with Shebest, a 43-yard gain.
On the sideline, Chuck Dykes is smiling. The heir apparent to his record, coming up with a big play to maintain the emotional intensity of this football team. Once you get that edge, and there's still a lot of time remaining in the ball game, you always run the risk of losing it.
Officially 41 yards. The arm is raised because James Shebest has just set the all-time Arkansas record for receiving. Back to live action, Joe Johnson left side for about 4 or 5. Arkansas is moving the ball right now to Mike Adamle.
Corey, here's a guy we could have used last week, our Cincinnati-Auburn game. You might recognize him. He's Frank Bonner. Herb Tarlick in WKRP in Cincinnati. He's to Arkansas football what Jack Nicholson is to Los Angeles Laker basketball. And
James Garner is to Raider football.
You're excited about these guys.
Oh, I need a Valium. I need something, Mike.
A lifelong resident of Little Rock?
Absolutely. Born and raised.
Well, turn them on, baby.
Here we go. Woo! Big save!
Right now, the Hogs don't appear to need any help from anybody.
He doesn't have to worry about turning these guys on because the Razorbacks are turning 50,000 plus people on.
They are lit up. That was Van Dyke for the first down inside the 15. Arkansas already with a 7-point lead. And they're threatening again. The key play, once again, that Greg Thomas to James Shebest connection for 43 yards. Shebest with 52 yards on the day. The third quarter is over. Listen to the crowd here at War Memorial. Arkansas by 7. They could go in again. Kenny Hatfield working hard on the sidelines. He's got to be pleased right now, particularly with Greg Thomas leading the Arkansas Razorbacks here. With a gain of 1 or 2, Rod Sadler makes the play. Thomas 10 of 13 through the air. You see Hatfield, it gets into it a little bit, doesn't he?
He does. He wanted Thomas, I think, to turn that play up quickly inside. And he hesitated, preferring to string it out to the outside, ran into one of his own men who was engaged in a block.
There he is. That's a stat that I think is somewhat outdated. After the Shebest pass, it moves it up to 110 yards passing on the day. Thomas has got another one, and that is out, I believe, is Johnson. It is to about the 12-yard line. We are in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth. Here, another play coming in.
That third quarter, big third quarter for Arkansas. They totally dominated A&M. A&M only gained 43 yards in the entire third quarter. Arkansas gained 135 yards to see there to lead 276 to 185.
All right, 3rd and 8. Oh, Thomas at at the 10. I don't know if he really was thinking about firing it back there like that. If he did, he's lucky to hang on to the football, isn't he?
I do believe he was. I think that's what the coaches were trying to tell him earlier when players about turning it upfield and having the pitch man still maintaining his perspective. Now, the pitch man, they want him 5 yards away and maybe 2 or 3 yards out in front. If he had kept coming to maintain that position, he could have pitched it to him on the outside. He could have still been running with the football.
Brings on Trainer. Kendall Trainer missed a 43-yarder in the second quarter. This one from 26, no good. It's no good. He can't believe it.
He's saying it was good. He's saying I made it by that much.
Trainer comes over. He's had a sensational season. Let's watch his reaction here. He's going to think it's good. Says, all right.
He thinks it's good, and they're signaling no good.
Boy, it's not often from a distance, you know, that short that you can have a difference in agreement.
Take a look at it here. The officials are right underneath the goalpost. You'll watch the ball as it comes across.
Oh.
Boy.
I can see, especially from his angle, that's a debatable call. Very, very close. So Trainer, his second unsuccessful field goal attempt of the day. Arkansas maintains a 7-point lead. Corey McPhair, Lynn Swan, Mike Adamley, Little Rock, Arkansas, where the Razorbacks have a 7-point lead, trying to upset A&M. Kevin Murray, the quick pass to Keith Woodside at the 24-yard line. David Dudley comes over to make the tackle. You go to scores here in the Southwest Conference. SMU victorious today. They've got all kind of problems, as you know. West Virginia leading in the fourth.
Mississippi.
And that Notre Dame score. That's still in the third, but Irish lead it by a field goal. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard gain on the pass to Woodside. And this is Vick, who's across the 30 for the first down.
Vick taking on all of the running attack this afternoon.
What you see of Vick? Is he kind of guy you'd see in the NFL next year?
And Vick's the kind of guy that would be a good, solid fullback in the National Football League. Much.
Trainer comes over. He's had a sensational season. Let's watch his reaction here. He's going to think it's good. Says, all right.
He thinks it's good, and they're signaling no good.
Boy, it's not often from a distance, you know, that short that you can have a difference in agreement.
Take a look at it here. The officials are right underneath the goalpost. You'll watch the ball as it comes across.
Oh.
Boy.
I can see, especially from his angle, that's a debatable call. Very, very close. So Trainer, his second unsuccessful field goal attempt of the day. Arkansas maintains a 7-point lead. Corey McPhair, Lynn Swan, Mike Adamley, Little Rock, Arkansas, where the Razorbacks have a 7-point lead, trying to upset A&M. Kevin Murray, the quick pass to Keith Woodside at the 24-yard line. David Dudley comes over to make the tackle. You go to scores here in the Southwest Conference. SMU victorious today. They've got all kind of problems, as you know. West Virginia leading in the fourth.
Mississippi.
And that Notre Dame score. That's still in the third, but Irish lead it by a field goal. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard gain on the pass to Woodside. And this is Vick, who's across the 30 for the first down.
Vick taking on all of the running attack this afternoon.
What you see of Vick? Is he kind of guy you'd see in the NFL next year?
And Vick's the kind of guy that would be a good, solid fullback in the National Football League. He's a power runner. Doesn't have a lot of fancy moves, but he's got good speed.
2 yards shy of 100 yards on the day. Murray on first down. good sharp pass. It is complete at the 37-yard line. And Rod Bernstein, believe it or not, folks, with 11 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the game, has made his first reception of the game.
Ray Roundtree, touchdown pass reception for Penn State. They jump back up into the lead by 4, 37-yard touchdown.
Bernstein, who came in with 46 catches on the year, led the conference, the leading tight end in the receiving department nationally. 2nd and 3, and he's got Woodside, who just bounces out of bounds, and it's a first down, the second of this drive. So A&M trying to pick it up with bits and pieces here.
2 plays, 2 pass plays, both of them successful because Kevin Murray just whips the ball. You see, it doesn't get much loft. He just fires it on the line before his receiver gets out of bounds.
Another point we should stress is this A&M team has proven all year long they don't get frustrated. They do not become impatient when they're behind. A lot of confidence in what the offense can do. Vic, oh, and a great tackle. Number 98, Michael Shepard. Big tackle from Monroe, Louisiana.
251 pounds. You see him there just to the left of the center of the screen. He sidesteps the guard right there. The guard fired straight out, had his head low, wasn't really watching him. That way he was able to get by him, get into the backfield, and make the low tackle.
The man he beat, Trace McGuire, the left guard. It's 2nd and 10. The Arkansas players put their arms up, and you hear the reaction. Murray, good quick pass to Bernstein. Across midfield, inside the 45 to the 43, where Otis Lloyd and Ricky Williams bring Bernstein down. That's a major league arm we just saw there.
Major league tight end he was throwing it to also. Very interesting not to have this man catch a single pass in 3 quarters of play. In a game where they have trailed throughout most of the afternoon. Shebest on the sideline.
There's the receiving star for Arkansas, breaking Chuck Dykes' all-time record today. Vic. Fumble. Arkansas says they have it. No indication yet. I think A&M will keep the football. And they will.
The fans, the football players hoping they can convince the officials that it's a fumble. You know, running back down late, hoping that they can
doesn't work too
persuade
often,
them emotionally. No. Every once in a while it does, not too often.
Kenny Hatfield took a look up at the scoreboard, checking out the clock. He sees that there's less than 10 minutes to go. But A&M's on the move, 2nd and 8 at the 43-yard line. Bernstein again, and suddenly Murray and Bernstein are hot. 3rd connection on this drive as Brothers knocks Bernstein out at the 26-yard line.
The isolated shot of Bernstein, he's a tight end, but he's got 4.5 speed in the 40-yard dash, so he's capable of getting downfield from an outside position. Working against a smaller cornerback, he just beat the zone coverage found the seam.
And he lines up anywhere. He can be split, flank, tight end. Call him a U-back. We'll play you where we want you. The U receiver, I guess. Vic rambling through the middle. He's inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Comebacks this year, we told you earlier in the ball game that against SMU they had to fight in the 4th quarter to come back and capture the win. They spotted Baylor 17 points in the 1st quarter to come back for a dramatic 30-31 victory at College Station just 3 weeks ago.
So far in this drive, the Aggies show signs of doing the same thing. That was Ira Valentine. Didn't get much at the line. Guys like Shepard, no one's getting up. You see the clock ticking down. Each team with their full allotment of timeouts remaining.
And with only 8.5 minutes left in the game, where you don't want to be is behind against a good executing wishbone football team that just eats up the clock.
a clock-eating machine. 3rd and 2, and Murray's going to throw it. And he's got his man, I believe that's Woodside. It is for the first down. Eric Wooded there immediately to bring Woodside down, but again, Jackie Sherrill not at all afraid on 3rd and short to put it up, and it usually works.
The way the defense has been playing, it's a good call. They've been playing the run extremely well, so you go up in the air for the short pass, and number 31, David Detley, comes over to make the stop.
So another first down for A&M. Vick slides through to about the 7-yard line.
Corey, you mentioned that Kevin Murray was a man who made the tough comeback with 4 pins in his foot. David Detley was a player that they thought would not make it back this year in play because he had a forklift roll over and fall over on his foot, and his foot was badly broken. And even now he's back in, he's playing, but the coaches feel like maybe he hasn't fully recovered from that kind of injury, but he's making his impact, making his presence felt here this afternoon.
Detley, number 31, the offensive linebacker, the outside linebacker, as Murray loses the football but regains it. That was very close. Murray, I'm not sure he ever really fully had the ball under control. So Murray's major sigh of relief there as he comes up with a football.
See right there, he was
never got it
away. Just misconnected with his center.
But they waste it down. 3rd and 8. 6:50 to go. A flag.
What was that one thrown
again
for?
That was seemingly premature. Arkansas cheering the decision and his illegal motion against Texas A&M. I don't know if we'll be able to see this one or not. Jackie Sherrill, look at his eyes.
Intense.
On the offense.
You know, I wish this official would just tell me who, because I haven't seen it yet. Once, tell me who.
And again, the 5-yard penalty makes it 3rd and 13. And at this point, A&M does not want to have to settle for a 3-point try the way Arkansas's flex bone can eat up that clock. Murray to the end zone. Incomplete, going for Rod Harris. And that ball was just a tad overthrown. You see Sherrill's reaction.
Very upset again. Rocking arm of Kevin Murray. Trying to get this pass in very quickly. On the line. He's going for number 17, Rod Harris. It's up high. He gets a finger on it. I don't know if he intended that ball for Rod Harris or for Shea Walker, who was in the back corner of the end zone. If it was intended for Shea Walker, he didn't get it high enough. Defensive back may have had a chance to pick it off if it wasn't tipped by Harris.
Slater with his second attempt on the day. It'll be from 32 yards out, make it 31, and it is good. Slater had missed a 48-yard effort in the second quarter, so Slater hits here with the field goal, makes it a 14-10 game, but Arkansas still leads by 4 points. Corey McPherrin, Lynn Swan, Mike Adamle from Little Rock, Arkansas, where the Razorbacks hold a 4-point advantage with just under 6.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Where did that come from? My friends, if you couldn't tell what that was on his head, that was those little hog hats.
Yeah, it was a hog headband that I was wearing there. I think I'm going to send that to Jim McMahon and see if he can get that one on the sideline.
I think he'd wear it. If you've just joined us, Arkansas got off to a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. A Derek Thomas 1-yard plunge. And Kevin Murray hit Keith Woodside in the second quarter to tie it up at 7. Arkansas went up in the third quarter on a touchdown as Greg Thomas took it in from 10 yards out to make it 14-7. The field goal from Slater, and it's 14-10. Donnie Centers at the 3. Cuts it outside, and he almost broke it big time. Taken down at the 31-yard line.
Set the strategy or the the tactics here in the moment for you is we see that Monday Night Football, San Francisco will take on the Washington Redskins. That's going to be all the way live.
And Niners reinvigorated by Joe Montana's comeback.
Tell you, there's no happier man in San Francisco than Dwight Clark.
And Jerry Rice to boot. Thomas, the 39-yard line. Now, Lynn, with 6 minutes to go here, is Arkansas's philosophy, let's not do anything out of the ordinary, nothing more than our conservative attack, and try to just eat the clock up?
They've played a mistake-free ball game all afternoon. They're just going to execute the wishbone as they have done so far in this ball game, passing now only when they have to. When they win on first down like that, they can continue to run the ball. It's 2nd and 2, a long 2. They'll continue to execute like that, eating up the clock as they go along.
Ken Massa in the ball game at fullback. He gets the call. He is fresh up to the 45. Derek Thomas getting a breather. Thomas has been in most of the game. Foreman, the starter, who shares time with Thomas, does not play at all today with that badly sprained ankle.
And with the philosophy that you mentioned earlier, Ken Hatfield's waiting to use up the entire 25-second clock, sending in the plays late or having the call late. So when it's executed, there's only 5, 4, or 6 seconds left on that clock. It's going to further deteriorate the time. This is the place that A&M did not want to be.
1st and 10. Van Dyke, an opening, and he's across midfield. And if I'm A&M, if I'm Jackie Sherrill, there's 5 minutes to go in this ball game. I got to be looking for a turnover of some kind, or look out.
What you really have to do, because turnovers happen so infrequently, and of course not at all for Arkansas in this ball game thus far, what they should be doing is saying, we'll stop you, shut you down, 3 downs and out. That's what they're hoping to get. A bad punt and better field position.
But in the early stages of this drive, Arkansas moving the football. Not so much on this play as Thomas is hit by O'Brien, and the bottom man on that tackle getting up. It's like Sadler right now, down to Mike Adamley on the sideline. Mike?
Hey, Corey, you're taking a look at Reveille, just one of many Texas A&M mascots. You know, for many years, the A&M Corps of Cadets comprised the entire student body. Now they're only about 5%, but they're still the heart and soul when it comes to football inspiration. You guys got to feel a little bit like Custer and the Indians in the midst of all these Arkansas fans.
Well, they're pretty nice people, but we still want to beat them anyway. They've been real nice to us, but we're going to win.
For only about 4,000 fans, you guys make an awful lot of noise.
That's true. We've always got the spirit of the 12th man behind us.
Okay, down 14-10. Can you come back?
Oh, yes. No doubt. Plenty of time.
We need to get on to the Cotton Bowl, I might add. Corey?
The cadets and the loyal followers of A&M, and they got to be fired up by what they just saw on the 3rd and 2. Holland and O'Brien combined to make the stop. Sets up a 4th and 1 from the 46-yard line of A&M. Timeout in the field, 3:53 to go. We'll see what happens when we come back. One of the great moments in A&M's football history. Dallas, 1968, the Aggies making their first Cotton Bowl appearance in 27 years. All-conference quarterback Ed Hargett leads the way as A&M upends former Aggie coach Bear Bryant, and the Alabama Crimson tied 20-16. The Aggies, of course, would like to return to Dallas in the Cotton Bowl this year. They made their first appearance since 67 last year. They want to make it 2 in a row, but right now, Arkansas. 4th and 1, and no. I don't believe they've got it.
Got to look at the officials to see what they're marking the football.
See what they do.
They need the ball just on.
It's got to be right on the 45, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, just to the right as we look at it, the 45-yard line. That marker on the far side sits right there, trying to see where the official's going to spot the ball. Can't tell.
Yeah,
if it's on the left side of that line, it will not be a first down.
You know, it looks to me from my binoculars that it's
close.
I don't even want to speculate. It's, you know, the marking in this football could very well be the difference in the outcome of this game.
Well, you see it there. It's just over the line. Hell, the players.
Look at the players looking at it.
A sneak preview.
Did not get it. Did not get the first down. Arkansas players still complaining, pleading their case.
We would like to show that measurement to you, but we can't because all the bodies are in the way. You see the play right there. You see his upper body lunging forward, trying to get across the line, but they mark where the ball is, not where the helmet is.
And Ken Hatfield, who's about 3 or 4 yards, you see Jackie Sherrill there, but Ken Hatfield on the opposite side is about 3 or 4 yards out on the field complaining. And do you think it was a mistake going for it?
Well, it was a choice they made because of the time left on the clock. They didn't want to turn the ball over because they know this football team can come from behind. They've had great success running the football, so they decided to take the chance.
So A&M down by 4 points, has 3 minutes and 49 seconds to score a touchdown. And they're 55 yards away. Make it 53 as Roger Vick bowls for a couple.
Texas A&M has 2 of its timeouts, as you see there, remaining in the ball game. They have to score a touchdown in order to overcome that 4-point lead.
Field goal does them no good. This place is loud. Murray, Woodside, first down. A&M, the clock continues to run. Stopped momentarily as they bring the chains down.
As A&M has possession of the football, 3:10 left. You see there on our clock in the lower corner of your screen. Penn State has increased its lead over Notre Dame, 23-13.
Clock is rolling again. Vick, who's had a terrific day, well over 100 yards rushing, brings the ball inside the 40. Ricky Williams and Steve Atwater. Steve Atwater, the safety, young man who last year played behind Greg Lasker, who now plays his football for the New York Giants, learned his trade there. And the coaching staff at Arkansas very pleased with his progress. There he is, number 27.
He's a big player, 6'4", good speed for a man this size. Reminds me of a guy I played with named Martimus Parker at USC, played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
2nd and 7. That's Woodside in motion. Murray, not much pressure. He's good ad-libbing, as you know, to Woodside at about the 32-yard line, and I think they're going to give him the first down. It's very close. We'll see where they mark it. Woodside says yes. And Otis Lloyd, little roverback out of Stuttgart, Arkansas, is the man to bring him down right there. Here we go.
Woodside, who has not carried the ball this afternoon a great deal, has been an outstanding receiver. 11 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
A&M going more to that one-back look with Woodside as the receiver and Vick as their running back. The drill pass to Woodside again. And A&M moving that football now to 1:48 to go in the ball game. In fact, Woodside has only rushed twice all day for 4 yards.
4 yards. He has been primarily a receiver.
And again, we witnessed an amazing comeback in that Baylor game 2 weeks ago. The SMU game, that 34-yard touchdown pass to Woodside, and you saw the right side of your screen, Marshall Land, the monstrous right tackle, come off his stance. Should be against A&M. It is. You know, we talked to Kevin Murray yesterday. He says he loves the pressure situations. He feels he can get the job done.
Well, no doubt about it. You know, I mean, it's up to the quarterback always. I mean, either you're going to be the hero or you're going to be the GOAT, you know, in most cases. I think it's unfortunate, you know, like they say, you get too much credit when you win and, you know, too much heat when you lose. But it's just part of being under the center. And but I enjoy it, you know, like you said, when the pressure is on, I want to be there because I feel like, you know, I can have a lot to do with, you know, us coming back and win the ball game.
Well, right there on 2nd and 9, Murray fired that football out to Bernstein, but he could not hang on. probably should have had it. Sets up a 3rd and 9. So once again, Murray, as he talked about, has that pressure situation which he thrives on.
Here was a perfect situation for him. He does his job. He fires it in. Whether it was Bernstein who can't handle that particular rocket.
Minute 15 to go. 3rd and 8 from the 30. This place is a zoo. He's got Bernstein. First down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. So Murray, once again, came down to the big situation, and he delivers.
He delivers, goes back to his big tight end, Bernstein. Bernstein's wearing a pair of gloves this afternoon. That may have affected him on the one that he did drop. Every little bit of feeling in that hand is very, very important. That's his 4th catch on the day as he comes underneath. Critical play in this juncture of the ball game.
So A&M, the drive continues. 1:08 to go. They have to score, not a field goal, but a touchdown to win the game. Back in a moment. Now the fans here at War Memorial Stadium really been entertained this afternoon. A&M, 1st and goal, or 1st and 10, I should say, from the 14, and here is Murray. Floats it out to Vick. And Vick is brought down in a hurry at the 13-yard line.
They're in their hurry-up offense.
Kerry Owens and Otis Lloyd combined. Murray, 21 of 32 on the day for just over 180 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not a spectacular day. He'd like to make it spectacular, but right there it's incomplete. The ball intended again for Keith Woodside. That stops the clock, 42 seconds to go.
Watching the play developing here. The receivers moving downfield. Bernstein not moving with great speed across the field. Kevin Murray looking at one receiver, one side of the field, drawing the attention to that receiver in the zone coverage.
3rd and 8. If you're a receiver out there right now, what are you thinking?
I'm a receiver. I'm thinking, throw the ball to me, give me the wide side of the field to work with, let me push it into the end zone, come back to catch it for a 1st down.
3rd and 8. 40 seconds left. Murray overthrows Shea Walker. Kevin Murray went for it all, but Shea Walker could not bring it down. The pass was too high.
When you throw with this much velocity and the ball's high, receivers can still go up and get it, but you cut down the amount of time that you have to make that connection. That ball thrown extremely high. I don't think Shea Walker could have gotten up any higher than he was. Fraction of a second to make the final catch.
So this high-powered A&M offense is down to its last bullet.
A&M may have lived on the edge too many times this season.
They got 1 shot left, 4th and 8, and Jackie Sherrill said, let's call time and think about it. I don't recall being in a stadium this year where the crowd and the stadium has been as loud as this one.
Terrifically loud. It's a low stadium. Now, it's got 50,000 people, but it's not one of the high ring kind of stadiums. Everyone sits low, a great view of the ball game, and all that noise just zooms down at you.
Not many bad seats in this stadium, I got to tell you. It's everybody is close to the action. War Memorial, built back in 1948, expanded 3 times since then. 53,250 is the official capacity, and there's no room left in this stadium, and nobody's left either, believe me.
No one's gone home this evening.
Now again, as far as the Southwest Conference standings are concerned, A&M came in 5-0. They'd like to make it 6-0. But if they would lose today, Arkansas stays alive. They have 1 game remaining. The Hogs do at SMU. They will obviously have to win that ball game to still have a chance at the Southwest Conference title. TCU and UT remain on the A&M schedule.
That is very important. Right now, just the individual pride of this 1 ball game is what's going to make it happen for them.
That's all that matters right now. Here we go, 4th and 8 from the 14. Here's your ball game. Incomplete pass. That's it. the most prolific touchdown passer in Southwest Conference history, had plenty of time on the run where he is at his best, but could not hook up. And the ball goes over to Arkansas.
The receivers are moving from side to side, but look at the secondary. Everybody's moving into his line of sight, playing the quarterback, and just shutting off the receivers. He did not have one receiver of those three who was coming back to the football to give him a shot at the first down.
That was Roger Vick. It was intended for as the clock moves down. 50-14, and that's going to do it. You have seen your final play of the game as Jackie Sherrill looks on in disbelief. The final seconds. That's it. Arkansas upsets A&M. 14-10, our Chevrolet Scholarship Players of the game. For Texas A&M, Roger Vick, who rushes for 117 yards on the day. And for Arkansas, quarterback Greg Thomas, who hits on 11 of 14 passes and rushes for 47 yards and 1 touchdown. Each school receives a $1,000 donation to the General Scholarship Fund in each of the players' names. We congratulate our players of the game, Roger Vick and Greg Thomas. And you just saw a moment ago the two coaches congratulating one another right now. The winning coach, Kenny Hatfield, with Mike Adamley.
Kenny, you've only been down here and coached at Arkansas for 3 years, but this has to be your biggest victory.
It is the biggest victory we've had. This team here is they're a great team. Our team played as well as they played like fighting Razorbacks. That's all you can add.
I thought especially the defense. You shut down Kevin Murray and company.
They only got 7 points early. Hey, I thought our defense played great. Fred Goldsmith and all of them. I can't say more. It's a great team effort.
You said it best in the pregame. Everybody else was counting Arkansas out of the Cotton Bowl picture. Now you're very much back in it.
We're back in it, and we're going to do our part to be ready for it, Mike.
What about the character of your kids, your team?
Well, I told them before, I said, hey, if you're the type kids we wanted at Arkansas, you got the character. You'll bounce back from that defeat at Baylor, and we did. I love them.
Coach, congratulations. Go with your team. Enjoy the victory. God bless.
Thanks, Mike.
Corey, Lynn.
Lynn Swan, we have witnessed another gem.
It's a great football game, great enthusiasm, a team not expected to win, but again, that foundation he built for his football team has paid off. They have come back. They've won this football game when everything was against them.
So it's Arkansas, the upset over A&M. Moves their conference record to 5-2. A&M's first loss on the year. Arkansas wins it 14-10 from Little Rock. Corey McFerrin for Lynn Swan and Mike Adamley. Now to Jim Lampley.
All right, thank you very much.